Alright, let's get started, shall we? So I did, as I said last week on the Aurora stream, that I have played a little bit forward in between the episodes and named some of the systems again. So we got, well, we still got North Sea, and then we named Kattegat and Skagerrak because that is the one that would be closer to North Sea. And then we still got the Arctic Sea, although there was a typo in there. It was Arctic Sea, not Arctic, unfortunately. So yeah, we had to rename that. And then we had Channel, and then we had Crete over here, but we named that to Bay of Biscay because, well, I think that makes a bit more sense right now. And yeah, and then I've gone a little bit, like, we've gone forward 3-ish years and built some more cargo ships. Of course, I'm still waiting for one more cargo ship before I set that fleet out. But it should be able to do a decent bit of work, especially getting some infrastructure moving about, because we've got 1,000 infrastructure in London. It's going to take quite a while to be transported with the ships, and we actually got 60 million workers in there. Oh, I just realized we're getting really close to the 400 million population, which is when I said that I would, which the population growth and production boost that I set up at the start back to regular stuff. Okay, so we're not that far away from there. Although that does mean that we'll then be using a bit less thorium on fuel refineries, so we'll probably want to build a bit more than just the 5 that I had set up before. So I'll put in another 5, so that would be at 8. There we go. So it will last for a little bit longer on the building. And Plymouth is already at 3 million. And we've been building quite a bit of infrastructure in there, but it doesn't grow all that quickly. The amount of industry they have there is still quite small. I'm sure that we'll get that higher eventually though, so that shouldn't really be an issue. And we got a small garrison there of 1,000 tons. So that would be, actually, how many units? 331. So 330 militia and then 1 officer. Well, technically not, but anyway. We got a battalion of militia in there. We got also a battalion militia in Christiansand, which I named this colony. And right, this was supposed to be the terraforming colony. Over here, what we need to do is we need to terraform. Well, first things first, we just need to increase the temperature a little bit. Then we need to remove some oxygen, and then it should be pretty much livable. I mean, it's going to require a bit more water as well. It only has 15% hydrographic extent. It's a bit dry planet. It's not completely dry, but it's like more of an arid planet. Also very cold right now, which... it is tundra. Okay. I suppose that makes sense. Right, but anyway, let's go ahead and start moving... Oh, also, actually, before we start going forward, we just retooled our shipyard. And I suppose what we can do is we can start retooling or auto-refitting some of these spikes. I don't remember how many... Oh, we only got 1. Okay, well, we'll at least refit that. That's going to be done in January. That should be fine. So we don't lose any of the progress in there. And I think what we'll do is we'll build a second one of those as well. Because, yeah, we only got 1 ship, or like, quote-unquote battleship. Basically, it's just an escort. But yeah, we only got 1, but hopefully we can get a bit more soon enough. Then we still got the 3 survey vessels, which we can actually start upgrading soon. Now we've got a battalion. Let's assign that under the regiment there. Building another regiment of units in London. Going to exceed on Romulus 1. Okay, so that's going to be returning home. Unit trained, we got a Redcoat battalion. Well, let's assign that under the regiment as well. We're going to be getting quite a bit of units built for the time, well, in the near future anyway. Right, 22,000 uranium, 45,000 vendrite, and 46,000 corundium. Not bad accessibilities actually on that comet. So where is that? That's Bay of Biscay. We are in Bay of Biscay right now, so it would be the comet. Oh wow, there's so many moons in here. This particular comet there. Right, so we'll also put in a colony there so we know to eventually mine it out. There we got the howitzers. And then I believe we've got a Hussar battalion still underway, but then that's going to be the units that we are currently building. Because those units are just not very good. right now. And it just gives us a bit of troops to maybe do a bit of damage on enemies if we get attacked or anything like that. But other than that, they're not really good yet. Eventually they will be. But right now, or eventually we'll be able to build a bit better troops. But right now it just was so... well, quite early in the text tree, let's just put it that way. Right, so we got the 5th cargo ship over here. So what I can do is I can just take all of these, attach cargo fleet 2, assign it to the logistics, and then what we're going to do is order template. I suppose... hold on, so that would be Christensen. Right, yeah. I think I'm just going to put that in cycle mode. So it's going to take 10 infrastructure per trip, and it's going to be able to do 2 to 3 trips per year, depending on how the planets are and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's going to be, well, it's going to be about extra 30 to Christensen of infrastructure, which isn't much, but it will allow the population to actually grow in there again. I mean, I suppose that technically it is still growing. Also, the other thing that we're doing is we're going to get we put in a automated mine in Isle of Wight here, or like a mining colony in Isle of Wight. It's just a moon around one of the gas giants in the channel, but we named it Isle of Wight because it sounded funny, or it sounded fitting, rather. And it does mine quite a bit, especially corundium and sorium, which is going to be really good for us. And we just need to get a mass driver up here in Plymouth, which we are getting soon, I reckon. Are we in... no, we're in Bay of Biscay. Right, let's have a look at channel then. Yes, the cargo ship, or cargo fleet, is heading to Plymouth right now, so we should be able to get the logistics set up there. Ah, there we go. We have researched the 9-pounder cannons, model 1733. So that is going to allow us to have a bit higher firepower on some of the ships. Although I reckon we might not want to do... actually, we could probably obsolete that ship already. Also this one. All those designs, I'm just gonna... basically we have some of the older designs, I'm just gonna obsolete them so they're not cluttering the list there, although it's a quite small list still. But I think what we might want to do is we might want to start designing a 6th raid now, so let's do a new ship class. And 6th raid, so it's basically a brig. And I think we're gonna rename this class to Seatham. And it doesn't need to have the year because this is the first model of this caliber. Right, so what we need to have here is more engines. Well, we just need to have engines, period. Right, and then armor rating should be 3. Deployment time is still going to be 12. Then we're going to put in... well, we'll look at the weaponry in a little bit, actually. What we are going to have to do is get a thermal sensors. Yes, we'll get a excellent spyglass. Then active sensors, probably crow's nest. Do you want to have a deck gun spotter? Honestly, maybe. Do we have any rail? We do have the earlier railguns, actually. Right, so we'll put in a deck gun spotter as well. Then we are going to need a fire control, although we would like to have a bit better fire control. But we can start with this one and we can then update it once we have the update available. That shouldn't really be an issue. And assuming that it uses the same armor and engines and all that sort of stuff, it should be something that we can just build on the same shipyard. Because we don't actually have a large enough shipyard to build these. But it's a nice thing to plan ahead at least. Right, I think what we need is a lot more engineering right now. 8 would be maybe enough. Let's see, we got 4 over here. We'd probably get away with just 7. I mean, technically 6 would be giving it more or less the same ratio as here, so it would be 40% chance of annual failure. Which honestly isn't too bad. I'm sure that they will have a decent maintenance life anyway. So we got about 2,000 tons for weaponry, I would say. Or, well, maybe not quite that much, but what I think I'll do is I'll put in instead of 9-pounders, and then maybe 4 sets of 6-pounders, we'd probably put in a bit more. At the same time, we are going to need quite a bit of fuel, aren't we? So let's start with those. Is there anything else that we desperately need? I mean, of course, we need the gunpowder storage. We go with the 10 over there, so that's using it all quite much faster than we actually should be, or what we will be in a little bit. So we should be having like 2,500 kilometers per second, or something like that. Right, so that, oh yeah, the max range is limited because of fire control, but the fire control shouldn't be too big of an issue. What I think we'll do is, first things first, let's put in another large fuel storage. So that gives 20 billion? No, that's not enough. I think 40 billion is going to be a decent one. Actually, it's going to drop a little bit once we put in some maintenance storage and all that sort of stuff. Speaking of MSP, we've got about 300 right now. Put in a regular one that takes us to 800. That might be almost enough already. I'm just going to put in a second one just in case. That's going to increase the maintenance life to quite high, to be fair. Now, we could put in more fuel. Or we could potentially put in a second set of 9-pounders. And then put in... Oh no, wait, no. We wanted to have the... Okay, so not 9-pounders then. Wanted to have some deck guns. Question is, of course, how much are we gonna put in? Put in one set of 4 deck guns, and that gives us just a tiny amount of gunpowder storage that is required. Then we got 50 tons of extra. Again, that's not going to be a massive amount of point defense capabilities, but it's at least going to be something that we can use in the end. Hello, Petya. How's it going? How's life treating you in the Netherlands right now? I think we're going to put in a bit of fuel storage in here still, and maybe one small maintenance... Well, no, we've got plenty of maintenance storage already. You know what? No, I'm going to take away the fuel storage and put in another engineering space. Because the annual failure rate has grown quite a bit. Yeah, I suppose this would be a decent one. At least a tiny bit of point defense and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure that... Ooh, actually, I just realized we didn't update the deck guns. We could probably do that, because right now the firing rate on those is... every 15 seconds. That might be too little. Though, in theory, if we were to take that away, if I remember correctly, is that... Double deck gun would already be 5-second fire rate. Let's see, that would be 10. Okay, so double would be 5 seconds. Hello, Zippy. How's it going? Life is actually pretty good today. We are actually having some warm weather down here, so it's surprisingly good weather actually. Went to do some groceries today. I actually had to wear shorts this time. Hello, Rumble. How's it going? Let's see. Right, so we don't need that one. So with one deck gun, well, I mean, that's not a massive amount of firepower. I suppose if we did that, we could potentially take one of the maintenance storages away and put in small ones, because they do not add in extra crew members. There we go. So now we would have still almost 1200 MSP, or maintenance supply points. Fuel capacity has dropped a little bit. Not too much. Then we have up to 4 deck guns, which have, well, technically just 2 deck guns, but we can fire 4 shots every 5 seconds at point blank range, so that should be able to shoot down enemy missiles if we face any. Also, actually, our carronades do fire every 15 seconds, and the 9-pounders every 25 seconds, so it should be a little worse. Right, well, we got that design. I think what we need to do is we need to actually get a new shipyard then. Or what I suppose I could do is I could start increasing the size of this one to 7,500 tons, and then just upgrade that one, or retool that one, and then we can build a new shipyard, which of course is gonna have only 1,000-ton capacity. We'll see how that goes. Actually, how much do we have? We still got 20,000 MSP at the London, so that should be fine. Oh, well, we're actually getting a lot of Sorium. That's quite nice. Right, so I wanted to put in a naval shipyard underway. That one. Gonna be in the queue at 20%. Gonna be quite time consuming to make it, but I think once we get the automated mines completed, that should be fine. Yeah, research facilities are still gonna take a while. How are we doing in terms of research? Oh, right, we just completed the cannons, didn't we? I suppose I haven't made the... No, I haven't made the new designs of the deck guns, although I probably should, shouldn't I? Right, let's take a quick look at the railgun techs here. Firing interval 0 seconds. That's interesting. Right, but I'll just pull that to the side so I can take a look at that while we design, mostly to get the names going the correct way around. So, no power plants, railguns. Let's put no name updates so we can shuffle around the stuff without problems. So we haven't actually researched any of the higher caliber railguns yet, or the higher range, or the launch velocity upgrades. We do have the fire rate upgrade. Okay, so we could go up to 1.5 to have 10-second fire rate. So this could be the 4 times dick guns, 17, what year is it? 39. Right, so we'll create that one. Then on the railgun shots 3, I wonder if we can get up to... No, we can't quite get to 5-second interval, so... Yeah, that's going to be the best that we can get. Just we don't need to have that high capacity recharge rate necessarily, and that's going to save us a little bit of things down the line, or at least it's going to make them a bit cheaper to make, or cheaper to build. Right, then double shot. Can we actually get this to... Oh, we can get it to every 5 seconds. I mean, it was every 5 seconds before, wasn't it? I believe it did. It is. Probably. And then just single shot. I mean, honestly, the single shot, I don't think we need to do a new one. That is already pretty much as good as it can be, really. No matter what capacity recharge rate we have, it's going to be every 5 seconds. But I'm not going to bother researching that again. Well, now that we have those underway, let's keep... Oh, right, we didn't actually put anything to be researched. Right, well, we do have the energy weapons. No, that should be in missiles and kinetics, actually. It shouldn't take too long, and we do have a researcher available here, so let's just do up all of these. There we go. Now we can keep on going. Ship refitted, excellent. So I think I'm actually going to build another ship then. So we'll build another spike, I think. And you can go to the North Sea training. Take quite a while. Should be trained. Oh, well, it will be trained with relatively good speed, I hope. And it's not particularly expensive, at least, so that's... It's actually gonna be taking about 9 months to make. That's not too bad. Nothing compared to the actual bigger ship. Oh, hey, wait a minute. The cargo ship has been visiting Plymouth right now, so we can start shooting down the... or transferring all the minerals that we mine over here at Isle of Wight. Because we already have about 350 tons of resources in there. So it would be a good idea to shuffle them around. Because over here, especially the Corundum is going to allow us to build more mining in Plymouth itself, which Plymouth actually has quite a bit of workers available already. Like, it has 1.3 million. But it doesn't even... It uses about 1/3 of the total workers in there, in the manufacturing, which is quite nice. And we got plenty of uranium there, that's for sure. We should have enough neutronium to actually build another construction factory now. Put that on 50%. And yeah, the mine is going to be done first. I suppose what we could do is just put in another 100 infrastructure at 50% to pace them out. And we are going to need a lot more infrastructure in here, just to keep the population growing. But it shouldn't be that massive of an issue. I mean, they don't cost all that much, and as long as we just keep on building that, and we also keep on building more factories and mines and that sort of stuff, we should be fine. Right, Romulus is heading back, or Romulus number 3 should be heading back. On the experience, ground support. Oh, right, okay. Ah, cargo fleet has completed orders. Okay, now I think it's time for us to move something else somewhere. Suppose we could set up a new mining colony, or we could start setting up colonies somewhere else. Let's actually have a look. So Plymouth, these are pretty high colony costs, so maybe not in there. What's there? It's low gravity. How much can we fit in there? 9 million. That's not a lot, to be fair. That's okay. These are quite expensive. They're quite expensive. What about the Arctic? This one has only 2. It has pretty good gravity. It has good. Oh, right, okay, this might be a good idea for the next colony then. The Arctic C2, or A2, is going to be the target. It would take at least 50 garrison, oh not 50 garrison, 50 infrastructure in there, so that would be 250,000 total population that can be supported. So, cargo fleet 1. Although we will want to start refitting some of these ships, I reckon. Right, well, London, load infrastructure, there we go, and then Arctic, B2, unload all installations, go back to North Sea, refuel, repeat that 4 times. Actually, it doesn't take all that long time, so it's... Arctic, oh, Arctic is the closest jump point. I see. Probably should have been the channel that would be the closest, but oh well. Not that big of a deal. Let me have a look at the Arctic a little bit. What does it look like? Oh, right, yeah, that was... At least that planet over there is bloody far away. Was it like 40 billion? Yeah, it's about 40 billion kilometers away. So not very close for sure. But A2, oh right, we already dropped the first set of infrastructure in there. Right, well I guess we can start sending in some colonies there already then. Where's the colony fleet? Should be sitting at home, and no, it does not have any people in there. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another order template. So London, load colonists, go to Arctic, A2, unload colonists, and then refuel at London. So create a template. It was A2, right? There we go. We'll at least have that, something that we can just easily repeat when we want to. Did we? Oh, right, we did upgrade the colony ship, so that is actually faster than the cargo ships right now. And now we have a colony of 20,000 people in here. We will need a name for this place, to be fair. I mean, I'm kind of thinking about Orkney. Might be fairly decent. I will go with Orkney. And how we... yeah, we have these brackets. Right, so we are inhabiting Orkney, and it has a massive amount of resources. The quality of the resources isn't necessarily that great. It's going to take a long while to mine all of it, but at the same time, that's a lot of resources. Also, the colony is fairly, well, colonizable, I would say. The atmosphere is not breathable, but how about... Ooh, the terraforming rate is actually pretty decent. There's quite a bit of methane over there and ammonia, but if we get rid of those two, add in a bit of oxygen, then it would actually be quite good. I think the temperature might even be within the correct values. Okay, so we will need to terraform this, but we can certainly make this into a pretty large mining colony. In like this, it can probably be the main place in the Arctic Sea, or main hub in the Arctic Sea, anyway. So the cargo fleet has returned, and colony fleet has done its job. Christensen could have a bit more colonies, so how about we send that colony fleet in there right now? So order template, that would probably be that one. Yes, basically, or technically. Those names are a bit wrong. But oh well, it should still be going to the correct location. How much do we have fuel right now in London? Going a bit low. We've been building a lot of ships, and we've had quite a bit of ships moving about right now. That might have something to do with it. Well, I guess we'll see if we run out or not. Our research completed on the deck guns, or quadruple deck guns. And then, well, that's about it really. We're just getting more deck guns, some health issues for officers and that sort of stuff. Nothing that we need to really worry about right now. We completed the mine in Plymouth, so that means that we have, I think, 7 mines in Plymouth now. No, 6. 6 mines in Plymouth. Right then. Or do we have... We do have an advisor that, or the governor that increases mining by 25%. Okay. That's not too bad then. I'm making 165 tons of resources total. Not particularly big amount, considering that there's so many different resources in there. We can't really speed that up, well, other than getting more mines, I suppose. Yeah, there's relatively little that we can do, but we are going to get all the resources now from Isle of Wight into Plymouth, so that should be good. And I suppose, actually, do we have enough for another construction factory? We just started on that one, so no, we don't have enough for another one, but we could do at least another mine. Put that into the queue. And that should then speed up the amount of stuff that we mine already, so we can slowly but surely keep those cycling between the two. We got the spike completed, and are we out of fuel? Pretty much. Alright then, that's not good. And I'm guessing the training fleet is at the correct one. Okay. Oh, it's 75% fuel anyway. That's not good. We should be able to get the training rather quickly, I reckon. But I don't remember if the officer in charge of the training right now has any training bonus. I'm sure that the captain at least has a little bit. Right, so minerals in... Oh. So, A8, Moon 11. Have a look at that. It has a bit of potential for extra resources in there. A8, Moon 11. There's so many moons in this bloody system. Okay, yeah, there's 168 moons total. Plus 60 asteroids. Right, well, that's actually not a massive amount of resources. I mean, it's okay. And the place can certainly be colonized, although the temperature is a bit low, so I don't think if it can be made like fully colonizable, but some Ottoman mines there maybe. Well, permanent colony there anyway. And shipyard modifier, that was the... I believe that's the smaller shipyard. Because I'm pretty sure that, yeah, it is the smaller shipyard. Okay, Honestly, at this point, I think it might be reasonable for us to bring in the survey vessels. Remove that, standing orders, no standing orders, and then you just move back to North Sea, London, refuel, resupply. Can take quite a while. You are currently in overhaul. Okay. So I can just move your remove your standing orders there, and then remove your standing orders as well. I just want to refit these into a bit more fuel-efficient engines, and also it will increase their speed a little bit, so that should be fine. I suppose once you've done those, you can then go to North Sea, London, refuel and resupply. And that's going to allow us to gather up a bit more fuel. And also, since we are already overhauling one of the ships, I think what we can do is refit from Romulus to Romulus 1733. It's going to take quite a while to be completed, but that's probably alright. Oh, we had a maintenance problem on one of the spikes. Oh. Okay, hold on a minute. How many spikes do we have total? I think we only have one in there, and then we got one in training. Okay. They share the number. Interesting. Okay. Oh, we had our order completed. All of the fleet has completed orders. Let's have a look at the situation. So Orkney could definitely get a bit more population, so we should probably send the ship there. We are still very low on fuel. Plymouth, I mean, that is starting to get a quite nice increase in population for sure. How long does it take for the... It's still going to take a while for the construction factory to be made. It's going to be done in... Oh, 1743, okay, yeah. Not all that great speed, to be fair. But at least we've got a lot of duranium and carbamide. Duranium is kind of the steel of this game. We completed the beam fire controller range, and we started on the fire control speed. So once we got that one, we can redesign our fire controls, and that is actually going to potentially make them slightly smaller, so that might give us a bit more room in our ships. And Romulus is going to London to refuel, and has completed orders to refuel. I have a suspicion that we are really low on fuel. Yep, we basically took all the fuel in there. Alright then, how long until the... We're already halfway done refitting of the Romulus 2. That's going to lower the amount of time that we spend on travel, and we can then maximize the time, or increase the time that we're actually doing surveys. Okay, we completed the triple deck guns. Quite nice. Got one more to do, and then we need to figure out what else to training not possible. Oh, right, overhaul. I suppose. They only got 3% training. Oh, that's not good. I suppose the training officer doesn't really have training bonus. Nope. Well, in that case, it might be just easier to, after the overhaul is done, just put it on the London reserve, because it should be getting some passive training there anyway. That might actually be better. Ship refit. Okay, Romulus has been refit now. Good. I suppose what we can do is we can start doing more refits of the Romuluses. And we can just put it on auto refit. Romulus to Romulus 1733. Going to be done in September. Apparently. It's going to be done in September. Okay. Right, we could build some more cargo ships, but I don't think we have the fuel right now. Let's take a look. Yeah, we have no fuel. We have no fuel at all. Oh, Romulus 2 has completed overhaul. That's nice. Some assignments. Nothing too bad in there. Okay, so the Spike 2 has completed overhaul, so we'll just put that into the London reserve. Gonna be better for the long run anyway. So this one does have crew training. Okay, And it's an... Ooh, actually, naval. Oh, it does actually put in... Oh. Right, it doesn't actually give bonus to the fleet training. But at the same time, since the officer in charge of training doesn't have any, then it's just been the passive bonus from the general, actually North Sea Commander. Probably wants giving them most, and then the British Empire Navy is technically giving a tiny bonus in there, but since it's so much higher in the hierarchy, the bonus is quite small. The end, anyway. Ah, there we go, we completed the deck guns. Right, let's think about this. What do we need the most? Certainly a lot of defensive systems that we could do. We could start building or researching a bit more of the engine stuff. Or we could try to get the... Oh, we don't need the particle beams or lasers or anything like that. To get the carronade upgrade. Or the microwave focusing technology. For the extra range for our microwave weapons, but we haven't actually been using those yet anyway. I mean, we haven't been using any of the weapons, technically speaking, but we haven't been putting them on the ships either. And we already got a sensor researcher. What about logistics, actually? Might not be a terrible idea. Oh, we do have a logistics researcher, okay. But in the very large fuel tank there, that's just gonna lower the price of making our tankers. Or the, well, the support vessels that we have, which act as tankers. And that might make it cheap enough to be made from the same shipyard as the colony ships. Hopefully, we'll see. Oh, and someone retired, fire control speed. Oh, that's not good. Do we have another sensor researcher? Not really. I suppose we could just put in the... Actually, I think what we're going to do is Alexander Burton is going to be switching fields now, so let's go to the officers. Scientist that was in missiles. Alexandra change field. Yes, I know it's going to drop the quality a little bit, but we do need someone on the sensors and control systems. And you can now level up that a little bit easier. And just take out that one. We'll have at least 3 labs, so that should benefit a little bit. It's still going to take about 10 years with this current speed, but once the bonus increases, then the actual research speed is going to increase quite a bit. Ah, ship refit. Romulus has been refit. Right, Romulus. Yeah, okay, that was the correct ship. For a moment, I thought I had accidentally refit one of the escort ships into survey vessels or something like that. Luckily that was not the case. Okay, well, let's have a look at the... So we got this one lacking a bit of fuel. That one's lacking a bit of fuel. I think what we can do is you can refuel, resupply, then begin overhaul. And after that, I'm just going to put in the usual orders in here. Next 3 system bodies and then go system requiring crab survey. Start with the first one, then once that's out, do we have fuel? Got basically no fuel. So the refuel was kind of a pointless thing there, I suppose. Overhaul of the Romulus 1 completed. Okay, so now it should technically get out of the system again. It is heading to the channel. I mean, at least it has a higher speed right now, so it's going to get there a bit sooner. How much people do we have, Christensen? We got 500,000 now. We got a total of... Oh, actually, we have enough workers there that we could start transporting one of the terraforming installations in there, which would then in turn allow us to get the terraforming underway. It's going to take 5 trips to get it there, with a single fleet. So it is going to take some time. And the Romulus has been refit. There we go. And I believe we don't actually have any other ships to refit from that particular shipyard right now. New minerals. Well, there's a tiny bit of titanium on that moon. We're not interested in that. So far, so good. I think we need to start entering into new systems soon. We constructed more infrastructure in Plymouth. Let's actually take a look. Oh, we've gone past the 400 million. Okay, well, let's save the game real quick. Put this one on, and then where is the intelligence? Is that the race? Yes, that's the race window. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to drop these back to 1.00. Save that. So now we won't be growing quite as quickly, but it was nice while it lasted. So now I presume that the construction speed in Plymouth has dropped quite significantly indeed. We will be getting the... Oh, it's still going to take a year to get that construction factory. We could technically just transport more construction factories in here. That wouldn't be too big of an issue. It's just going to take some time, of course. But, you know, other than that... Oh, hey, we built another research lab. Okay, the question is, do we put that in the fire control speed? I mean, all the bonuses over here are the same, so it doesn't really matter too much where we put it. Although the extra mining wouldn't be bad either. But no, I think we want to get the fire control research done faster, so that is now going to be done in 6 years. Instead of what it was somewhere around, well, it wasn't 10, was it? But it was still pretty high. I mean, considering that we went from 3 to 4, that would probably mean that it was 8 years before we added that in. Oh, jump point detected in Bay of Biscay. I mean, this is the only one that we haven't actually surveyed fully. So we know that there's another jump point from Channel. Then we know that there's 3 from Arctic Sea and 2 from Skagerrak. Wonder where they go. Wonder where they go. Honestly, I suppose what I could do, first things first, how much do we have fuel? Basically nothing. We are still building the same amount of fuel as we were before, so that didn't have an effect on the thorium consumption. Although we have increased the mining a bit. Once again, especially once we get the mining speed research done. It's still going to take a while, but once we do get that, then that's going to be increasing by another 20%. One time exceeded in Romulus 1, so that should be heading back. It is. Oh, and fuel refinery is completed in London. Oh wait, no, I think it did actually lower the fuel production. I hadn't checked that because we were building more fuel refineries. I think it has. Okay, well... I suppose I could build a bit more infrastructure in the meanwhile. Let's build another 1,000 at 10%. Wouldn't be too big of an issue. So the automated mines are probably the next one that's... Yeah, it's the next one that's going to be completed. Still going to take it about 3 years. How many do we have, actually? We've got 40 automated mines. Oh, right, we only transported 5 of them. We might want to transport a bit more later on. The question is, of course, where do we want to take them? I mean, Isle of Wight is pretty good for mining. But there's also other resources in the channel that we might want to start mining out. Got some extra mass drivers to get the resources automatically transferred. Roll of Romulus 1 completed, good. Right, so we didn't actually give orders to the Romulus 2, did we? No, just they're orbiting London. What I think I'll have you do is you'll refuel from there, you'll go to the channel, and then you'll go to the unexplored jump point. So we can start finding out some new places. That's Romulus 1, let's go to the channel. We should be able to see this happen almost in real time. Oh. Okay, we got another Crete. We'll probably need to rename this before we start setting up the colonies, but this seems like a tiny system. There is a terrestrial planet, it just doesn't have a atmosphere, and the other one has an atmosphere. I don't know, it's quite toasty. Both of those are actually quite warm. 350 Celsius and 780. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in those planets. It might have some resources. I mean, it's a relatively young system overall. Population cap is rather small though. Although the Venusian planet... Oh, it has too high gravity, so we can't actually colonize that. But, okay, we might be able to get some nice mines in there if we are lucky. Oh, right, I didn't actually give you the basic orders, did I? I did now. New minerals in Crete. Okay, that's one of the comments. It does have corundum, which is quite nice. Can be used in making more mines. New scientists, missiles and kinetics. Alright. Basically what we're going to be using that for is just... I mean, eventually we'll do a little bit to upgrade the bulkhead armor. Speaking of which... we did put in the bulkhead armor on the upgraded spike, but we didn't put one in Seatham. Maybe we should put one in here. So that would be magazine. What can we take away, I wonder? I suppose we could lower the fuel a tiny bit. Put in some extra regular fuel storages instead, and that needs to be all ones. We could get these tiny maintenance storage bays away, and then put in another small one, I guess. Means that we could actually just have a fourth regular one. A bit cheaper that way. And also give some hit points there. Alright, well it does have 59 internal hit points. Whereas the spikes have 44 right now. And the Romulus have 31. So there's quite a bit of a difference there. Because the armors are relatively similar. At least in the spikes and Romulus. Plus, of course, the Seatham class does have an extra layer. Also, it's a 50% larger, so it kind of makes sense. Let's see, ground server potential. Oh, right. So that's the Venusian planet. So this is connected to the. Right, so there was the comet that had resources, and then this one. Okay, there's a lot of uranium and compromise, so the numbers are pretty high. The quantity, quantities are high, qualities not so much. It can have better qualities or quantities. Most likely it's just going to increase the accessibility, so we'll be able to mine faster, but not necessarily increase the amount of resources in there. It is a mountain planet, though. I think what we're going to do is we're going to rename this system to Celtic Sea. Then we can put in the colony here without worrying about the names too much. Corundum, I'm not entirely sure if I need to set up the mine in there yet. Maybe, maybe not. Or colony in there, rather. We'll be mining in that colony, of course, but... See, did we find anything there? Nope. We actually had a maintenance problem. Well, I mean, we have plenty of maintenance supply points. And new minerals in another comet there has Venterite, which is used in fighters and ground units. Corundum, which is again for mines mostly, and Gallicite, which is engine stuff. Okay, well, I mean, that is actually not a bad comet, so I will earmark that one. Alright, so we could technically have a bit of a colony in here, but it's just max population is rather small, so Celtic Sea is probably going to be mostly abandoned, or like just mining colonies in there. Oh, and another comet has resources. Thorium for fuel and uridium for optics. Okay, oh, and mercasium. I will put that into a colony as well. But we basically survey all the... Actually, how we survey it? Yeah, we survey all the stuff in there. I do say, although it probably isn't all that well visible on the screen. Actually, I suppose I could show it here. I do like the icon that I put on the ships. Just found that from in the internet. And then the station image is from Empire Total War, I believe. You know, burrowing a little bit. Oh, we got a new scientist. Sensors and control system. Oh, how good is the previous one? Okay, it's probably about the same. Okay, we're not doing much in terms of the shipyard, although we don't have a lot of fuel to do much about with the shipyard. Oh, and the fuel production has actually dropped, so it probably hadn't calculated everything previously. That might be it. Oh, okay, so we're using 800 thorium per... Oh, no, the planetary governor has switched around. Okay. Oh, I suppose makes sense. Right, also, Orkney, I think we might... Is this a mining colony? This is definitely a mining colony. Governor, I think we'll put in mining first, then population growth, and then production. As the priorities, and then we'll assign automatically. 5% extra mining. Of course, we don't have any mining in here yet. Don't have a lot of workers yet either. We do need to get a bit more infrastructure. Well, actually, not necessarily that much infrastructure. We just need more people in there. So let's go ahead and take the colony fleet again. Did I give you the... I did make the order template. We'll do that, and we'll repeat it once at least. Hold on, has the Cargo Fleet 1 completed orders? It has. Okay, so we could refit these ships. Let's do that real quick. To shipyard. Auto refit from hauler to the newer hauler. There we go, so both of the shipyards will be automatically refitting those. So the Cargo 1 fleet will then be a bit better in, well, not that far distance, or distant future, however you want to call it. So we are already 1744, and we started at 1739, so we have certainly been going rather quickly forward here. I mean, it's early game and we got pretty slow settings, so to speak, so we can easily just let the time pass. We haven't found any aliens yet, but I know that, as I've said that, as soon as we go into our, or explore into our next system, there's probably going to be either precursors or an NPR. Okay, overhaul completed on Romulus 1, good. Do we have... we'll have a bit of a lack of fuel. What I think we're going to need is, we are going to need... Actually, the research facility is going to take a while. Okay, so it's going to be automated mine, then we start on the naval shipyard complex, and then it's going to be infrastructure. So we can put in another 10 fuel refineries, 10%. Then we'll probably need to get a bit more mines and construction factories, but that's fine. I think we might actually want to start producing the maintenance supply points again. That is probably going to have a bit of a bad effect on our money, to be fair. Oh yeah, it's going down rather quickly. At the same time, we got extra money right now, so we can afford using it. There we go, 2 of the ships have been refit. Did it start refitting the next 2? It did, good. We may need to wait. Also, actually, speaking of ships, has the other spy... Oh yeah, it's already at 31% training. So the passive training is actually not that bad. Depends on the commanders and all that sort of stuff, of course. But, you know, other than that, it will be quite beneficial. That guy has 125. Right, orders for Romulus. Oh, both of the Romuluses are... Oh, they might be out of fuel, and now they're just waiting for more fuel to appear. Well, it's a good thing that we will be building a bit more fuel refineries in 6 years, apparently. Not that fast. What I suppose I could do is I could put these back to 20% construction factories and mines. And then we can put in the fuel refineries up in the queue. And start producing a bit more, and that means a bit more fuel for us, because we really need more right now. Oh, and who retired? The logistics guy. Or logistics researcher. How far did they get on the research then? Only 500 points. So not very far. We could of course get the biology stuff, getting the terraforming module or the increased speed of terraforming rate. Because we do have a lot of biology researchers available. On the other hand, we probably need something else more. In fact, actually, let me quickly check. If we were to do the magazine again, since we've got the better armor, not the magazine size, but the extra hit points, how far can we... Oh, now we could actually go all the way to 10. So, fair enough. Last time we went only to 8, so that would give 10 extra hit points with the bulkhead armor. So I could do that. Unfortunately, I can't lower the size of this, so it's always going to have a little bit of magazine capacity, but that's fine. Right, we had armor and 1745. We'll do that, and I think we will actually design that or research that already. At least, oh, we might as well do that. It won't take too long. It's going to take about a year, a bit longer than that, but then we can put or put the researchers or research labs to do something else. And they're still going back and forth to refuel. That may be for a while. Okay, so what we're going to do is just Romulus 2. I'm going to remove all, because I know that you're going to be complaining about lack of fuel in a moment. Take away your orders. And just move to London. Orders completed. And then you try to refuel, but you won't be able to. No suitable destination. Now you're going back to refuel. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put both of these to wait at London for the time being. At least they won't be moving away, so they can try to refuel there for a while. There we go. No longer complaining, at least. We'll need to wait for some fuel before we can send either one of them out. And we got the automated mine completed. Or automated mines completed in London, so now we can start the work on the new shipyard, which is going to be quite good. That means actually we might be able to retool the shipyard over here for the class. Yeah, we'll do that. It's going to be done in December actually, so that's not that far away. It's a good thing that we didn't lock the design. Oh, we didn't retool before we actually switch. Oh no, we didn't actually switch to bulkhead armor, did we? But we did put in bulkhead armor in there. Oh, and ship refit. There we go. So that's another 2 refits. I'm not entirely sure if they took more fuel or not. If they did, we still have a bit of extra. Not enough to matter, but it's at least a little bit extra. Take a quick look at the colonies again. So Plymouth is almost at 4 million. Which is quite a respectable amount. How much do they make their own infrastructure per year? 8. That's not a lot. They have quite massive import requirements. I suppose it could be worse. Although frankly, I'm kind of tempted to activate the commercial shipping lines. Or the civilian shipping. And I think we're going to do that. I'm just going to save real quick. I don't know if I really need to put in the Space Master mode, but just in case, put that on, and then we are going to put in the civilian shipping lines and save settings. Now, it may take a while before they actually get anything, or we may need to even reboot the game. Oh no, they got a colony ship. Question is, where is it going to be heading? There we go, shipyard modified for the Season class. And we've completed mine in Plymouth. Right, I suppose what I could do, do we have a lot of fuel? Not really, so no, it's probably best to not build a new ship right now while we still have the lack of fuel. We had gotten the maintenance supplies over 20,000 again. That's quite nice. If we go back to the channel and then back to the North Sea, can we see contacts? Or is the alien ship already on the move? It is on the move, it's currently in the Arctic. Carrying 50,000 people, but is it... Oh... We might have tried to land the people into Orkney. Oh no, it probably did, actually. Okay, well, I mean, that's going to give us a bit of extra income as well while they go back and forth. Oh, the Romulus one is just sitting down here. You might want to go back to London then and refuel from there. That is not going to fill you entirely, but it's at least better than nothing. Oh, there we are. That's the civilian vessel. Our fleet is coming back home. Oh, that's the one that is taking stuff into Christiansand. Oh, we can have up to 1 million people now. Oh, right. Also, how far are we from getting the Cargo Fleet 1 completely upgraded? There's a little bit still missing. Not too bad, I reckon. Oh, we completed the bulkhead armor now. So let's think about something else to research. Sensors and fire control, we already still have that one underway. I suppose we could just speed up either the mining or that, or do we have... We do still have power and propulsion researcher. Maybe we should utilize that while we still have it. Either for the max engine size or the minimum engine power. Or, well, we don't need jump drivers, so we don't need to worry about those things at all. Fuel consumption rate would also be quite useful. So we'll go for that one. Probably won't have the time to actually research that with the current researcher, but I think at least if we can get it forward, that's still going to be a good thing. Ah, ship refit. There we go. So now the fleet over here could go ahead and move out a bit more. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to load up the terraforming installation. And was it in Skagerrak, right? Christiansand, unload all installation. Go back to North Sea, London. You can probably try to refuel there, and then repeat that 4 times. It's like 800 days, but it's a bit less than what it used to be. Oh, and the civilians made another colony ship. I suppose there might be some things that they can do. And it does certainly increase the... Oh! They got a freighter. Oh yeah, this is still the freighter. Okay, well that's going to be transporting infrastructure into... Well, actually, where is it going to be taking it? Oh, to Christiansand. Good. But you do need more infrastructure in there. But that's certainly going to speed up the colonization efforts quite a bit. I don't need to do quite as much micromanaging. And eventually I can maybe give the civilians some contracts to transport some items from one place to another. Oh, a new shipping line. I wonder, how much are we getting money on a yearly basis from the tax on shipping colonies, or colonists 60 and tax on exports 10. So not very high yet. I'm sure that over time that is going to increase quite nicely. Of course, the civilian... Actually, I wonder... not there. Over here. Can we see the civilian ship design? So the colony ship has a speed of 844, which isn't too bad. And the freighter has 506. That is quite a bit slower. And they got their own engine type, which is actually quite a bit... Actually, is that bigger? No, I don't... See the engine in here? I don't think so. But we can see it over here. Okay, so... Oh, no, it's the same... Basically the same engine as we use in our civilian vessels. It's just they have a bit more of them. But they also have a lot bigger ship. They got quite a bit bigger cargo holds, what we are using. Ah, we completed infrastructure in Plymouth. Think about this. Do we need to build more? We got massive worker surplus there. Oh, actually not building anything. Right, how much do we have? We could easily build more mines. How many mines do we have right now? We got 7. So how about we put in 3 mines after 50%. Then we'll put in 3 construction factories at 50%. We don't have the minerals for the construction factories yet. Namely missing some of the neutronium. But we should be mining it... Oh, actually not that quickly. Well, if we could get at least one and then focus on the mines or something for a little while, that should be fine. I do want to increase the construction speed in Plymouth. Also, did we... So Christensen, have you got on... You got on 1/5 of the terraforming installation. So we can't actually do anything about that, can we? Don't think so. I mean, I suppose what I can do is I can start... Right, we need to increase the temperature there first. And I think Estatium is going to be the one that I'm going to put in there, add gas to atmosphere, and put in 0.1 there. There we go. So that should technically start working. Well, as soon as the installation is there fully, then it should definitely be working. If we can increase the temperature in there, then that's going to lower the colony costs, and then means that we can actually have more people in there with the same amount of infrastructure, which would be quite useful. Oh, and we got a mine completed and construction factory completed in London. I think we're putting another 50 construction factories at 20%. Then we're going to build something else, maybe. Question is, of course, what do we want in here? We'll just build more mass drivers right now. Put in another 5 at 20. Because I know that there's going to be a lot of small mining colonies dotted around, and we need to gather up the resources from those easily. Or in some easy way. Oh, and the civilians built another freighter. Good. Transporting more infrastructure into Christensen. By the looks of it, at least. I mean, that is one of the closer colonies that we have. Like, there is indeed quite a bit of traffic going in and out from Skagerrak, so that's quite nice. Oh, that colony ship is just waiting there right now. Oh, and a new freighter, okay. So, we got 2 shipping lines right now. So you got a total 1 freighter and 2 colony ships, and you got 2 freighters. Okay. You've been transporting a lot of colonists and some infrastructure. That's good. That's gonna save me quite a bit of fuel, actually, since I don't need to be paying for the fuel. Oh, and a new colony ship by the looks of it. And a freighter. Okay, I'm sure that the freighters are gonna have a lot of things to do. Oh, and we built another research lab. Excellent. Now, should we put that on? I think we're gonna put it on the fire control research. So it's for half a year away, then we can redesign the fire controls that we have. Make them maybe a bit smaller. Well, at least have a bit better tracking speed for sure. And it might make them smaller in the process. How much fuel do we have now? We've been going, we got 500,000 liters, so that's still quite small reserve, to be fair. How much are we making the... Okay, we've got 45 refineries now, so we're making 1.8 million. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten any production bonus on the governor right now. Oh, and the fire controls researcher retired. Well, luckily we do have a replacement. Oh, we're 10 points away. Oh man, that's a bit close. Practically 1 day from retirement. Well, 1 day from completion, and then retired. It wasn't 1 day, but close enough. Right, so we got the fire control speed rating, so let's take the tech thing over here. I'll just keep it on the side there. Just so that I can check the names. And I suppose I can also keep a track on the sizes a little bit. So now we need to design a new beam fire control. So we'll go with these. We'll put in the no name update there, and right, so we have kept those in there. Although actually, maybe we'll want to set up the speeds and all that first. So it needs to have a speed of 2500 with 1.25 size, and then range. The previous one has 80,000. If we could go for 96, maybe? That would be a bit too much. Okay, so 96,000 is probably good for the basic fire control. So is that going to be... That is actually quite a bit smaller than the previous one. Like, the previous one is 160 tons. This is 94 tons. Right, so let's put in the no name upgrade now. So this is going to be a broadside fire control. Yeah, we'll do that. Then we'll put in the single weapon one. Put in the small in here. The middle, so that's just for one weapon. For example, the servo vessel uses one of these. That's also going to save a bit of tonnage in there. Not to mention probably crew members as well. Yeah, it does. Good. That means a bit less crew quarters and all that, so that is actually overall a really good upgrade. Now, we do need to research those, and then once we have those researched, honestly shouldn't take too long. Especially if we go with the 5 labs still. Add that to the queue, so that's going to be done in less than a year. In September. Now I'm going to close that one there. Colony ship is now heading to Skagerrak again. Good. Alright, we've been transporting infrastructure there as well. You know, just to keep it growing. I believe, actually, we'll also be transporting the terraforming installations there. Yeah, it now has the entire thing. We have started adding a little bit in there, but annual... Oh no. Annual speed is just so small. We really need to get the second facility there as soon as possible. Otherwise, this is not going to get done pretty much ever. Like, there is some additional decimals probably over there that are actually being terraformed, but it's just the speed is so small. It's basically, well, 30% of what it would be on Earth. And then if we take into account the 25% that we have on the game settings, so yeah, 7.5% is the speed that we terraform, more or less, on this particular planet. That is quite small. But at least we got one of those, and that's also going to be providing a bit of worker taxes in there. Because we haven't been using the terraforming installations in London, we don't have to. Although the population in London itself is growing quite nicely. It's already 500 million. And we can only have 2.3 billion in here. So we're going to have to start shuffling the people away from there soon enough. That it can keep on growing, which is probably a good idea that we activate the civilian shipping then. I think what we're going to do with the Cargo Fleet 1 is just transporting more of the terraforming installations. I think that is currently relatively important to get that done. And then we're going to start transporting more of the auto mines, so we're going to set up some more mining colonies. Right, so you need to go to Skagerrak. And go to Christiansen, unload everything, go back to the North Sea. London to refuel. And repeat that 4 times. It's only 800 days, so it's about a bit more than 2 years to do that entire trip. Could be worse, I suppose. There's a lot of trips back and forth. Oh, Hauler is having a bit of fuel problems, I see. Am I not being... Cargo Fleet 2, are you not doing your refueling? You know, you are, but not all of the ship... Oh no, there's not been enough fuel, so okay. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to not cycle the orders and remove everything except refuel that colony for the time being. We'll have to wait until we get a bit... oh, and we got the fire control now. Let's go ahead and take the spike. Copy class. Rename this to... What is it? 1748. Okay, so 10 years after the previous one. More or less. So we've got this one. We can replace the fire control. And put in the new one. Oh, I didn't put in the new name there. Okay, well, we can put that in here still afterwards. So just rename component. And 1748. There we go. It's a bit easier to see which one is which. So there we go. So that gives us quite a bit of extra room in there. Question is, what do we want to do with that room? We could always put in some extra fuel. We still got 5 entering area spaces in this one. And we got blink. Well, I suppose we could put in a bit of maintenance stuff in there, or maybe something else. No, I think fuel is always nice. It has fuel for half a year right now. Deployment time is full year, so as we'll put that, we could probably put in a tiny bit of extra maintenance supply points there, and then maybe a small fuel tank. I suppose we could technically replace those fuel storages with a big one. Or large one, technically speaking. Else that we need to replace in here yet? I don't think there is. We do need to get the thermals into upgrades though. At some point, so we can get a bit better range out of those. Also put in a fighter fuel storage. Although, yeah, I think I'm gonna switch to these. Make it a little bit cheaper to make. It's not gonna. I mean, it does lower the hit points there a little bit then. But at the same time, it's not too bad. And it does have a lot longer maintenance life now. Plus the fact that it can actually shoot at the max range. And at the max range, actually, so 60,000 kilometers is the max range of the cannons. Which means that they will be doing, if they hit, only 1 point of damage each. But hey, it's still damage. And we can fire every 15 seconds. So we could be doing 4 damage every 15 seconds if we hit. But at the tracking speed that we have, and the... Oh, right, target speed. Let's put the target speed to, say, 2,000. There we go, so we can actually, just making sure that the tracking speed is within the tracking speed of the ship itself. So, at 10,000 it's going to be 90%, so 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, so it's about 38% hit chance. Of course, most likely the enemies that we face are going to be so much faster. If we say 5,000 is probably going to be a more likely option. So at the max range of the cannons, it's going to be about 1 in 5 chance of hitting. So not very high. On the other hand, the carronades are dirt cheap to repair. So, and we have so much maintenance supply points that we can keep on firing from that range for a while without having any problems. Eventually we may want to upgrade those to a bit higher cannon, or higher caliber cannons. And actually, if on Seatham, we might want to copy that class as well, rename that to Seatham 1748. So if over here we replace the fire control, we can probably just obsolete that component actually. So now the 9-pounders would actually be able to fire almost at their max range. Not quite. Almost. And then it does have the deck guns as well to give a bit of extra. So I wonder, the deck guns level 2, is there... There's a bit of a difference in cost there. The height is the same. And I'm pretty sure that the fire rate is more or less the same, isn't it? Fire rate of fire. If we put in that one, can we see any difference in there? Oh. Wait, no. Yeah, that has a high power requirement. The same fire rate. Interesting. They're not actually that much better, are they? Okay, well, let's get rid of that deck and that one. We'll have a fair bit of extra in here. I suppose I could just put in another, say, magazine. Bulkhead armor, actually. Speaking of bulkhead armor, let's replace that. And another one, and then we could probably put in a bit extra fuel. Because it doesn't have a massive range. It could certainly be larger. There we go. No, actually, also on this spike, we could replace the bulkhead armor. Get a later one, and we can obsolete the old one. So now it does have about the same amount of hit points as the previous design, but also has longer range, both the cannons and the ship itself. That has higher accuracy as well. I'd say that that was a pretty decent upgrade. And also, oh, it actually also has less crew members. Interesting. It's actually cheaper. I'll take it. Up over here, the system is probably alright. Let's actually have a look. Can we build this from the shipyard? We should be able to. We can. Good. But we probably don't have the fuel. Yeah, we really don't have the fuel to do that yet. It's a good thing that civilians are doing the colonization for us right now then. Well, partially anyway. Oh, there's the freighter coming in. Actually, let's have a quick look at London. So we got quite a bit of infrastructure in here to be traded or exported, and luxury food and entertainment products. What does Plymouth produce? Annual surplus of textiles. Okay. Christianstown doesn't really produce anything else than infrastructure yet, because it just needs a bit higher population. Oh, actually, we might want to get a militia battalion here in Orkney already. Let's do that. We got the transport over here, or the trooper. Not starter trooper though. Right, so let's get the 3rd Militia Battalion. And Orkney would be in Arctic Sea, so we'll just go ahead and unload all the troops from the bay there, and then go back to North Sea and London, and just move there. I think you'll still have plenty of fuel afterwards. That way we can make sure that there's no problems with that. Okay, so we got the broadside fire control small research. So let's go ahead and start researching maybe the... Well, the active craft sensor strength wouldn't be bad either, to be fair. But I think the thermal sensitivity would also be quite a welcome upgrade. Yeah, we'll start with that one. I'm not going to put 5 anymore. I think we're going to go with 3 labs on that one, and then we have... But you know what? I think we're going to put in someone on biology. Because we need to increase the terraforming rate, otherwise it's just going to be practically impossible to terraform anything. Although I don't mind it being slow, to be fair. I just want to be able to do some progress. Hello, alter ego. How's it going? Okay, so we have transported the troops into Orkney. And again, it's very small amounts, it's just to make sure that there's no rebellions or anything like that. Or unrest or anything like that. Speaking of unrest, how is Plymouth doing? It still has a pretty decent police strength compared to the resistance. Also, ooh, they are about to run out of petroleum, aren't they? Okay. What we're going to do is we are going to be putting that down in the queue. Putting 100%. First things first, I think we're going to just build the mines. Okay, I actually got some sleep today. Back has hurt so bad that you only sleep a couple of hours now. Ah, sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you got some sleep. Always nice to have some proper sleep after a long while. I actually slept pretty late today. Like, I woke up at 6 at first. Then I realized, nah, I'm just gonna continue to get some sleep, and then I woke up like at 11. I realized, oh, well, there goes the morning. Oh, there we go. Mining production speed has been upgraded, or completed with research. Now, injection on Monday is supposed to take care of most of the pain. Ah, well, let's hope it works. Right, Then over here should probably do a bit of research. I think we're just going to keep on continuing with 2 labs on the construction. Do we go for the research speed? Oh, actually no, I think we'd hit the fuel production right now. We've been having such problems with the fuel that is actually the most sensible option. Oh, and we are actually making money despite also making the maintenance supplies. That's quite nice. Not making a massive amount of money, but we're still making money. Actually, no, we are losing money a little bit. Probably just had some taxes coming from the civilian shipping. Mass drive is completed in London. Let's have a look. What should we do next? We could always just make some ship components. Gonna get the naval shipyard complex soon. Yeah, this is 1.13. Well, we've got the terraforming installations already. Well, we've got 2 of them anyway. And they are being transported, I think. Oh, actually, deep space tracking stations might not be a bad idea. Let's make another, I don't know, 5 of these. At 20, not 29, 20%. But that way we can keep a bit more eye on the area. Of course, do we actually... Oh, right, we already had quite a few extra tracking stations. Well, we'll have up to 10 here in London then, and we can transport some of them away. I guess you have your afternoon planned. Fair enough. But yeah, it's been out for a little while, and there hasn't been any patches on it. I mean, the next patch is going to be 1.14, and that is already underway. And we don't know when exactly it's going to be released, but it's actually going to... The 1.4... Oh, what are the major changes? I don't actually remember what are the major changes on 1.13. 1.14 is going to have at least ability to transfer ships to another race, which is going to be really good for multiplayer games, among other things. And then there's also quite a few, but at least on 1.13 there was the new things for railguns that you can determine the amount of shots that they fire from between 1 and 4. Like 4 being the usual one, and then it scales the size of the weapon a little bit. Not like entirely, but it does lower the size, and then it also means that it uses a bit less power and all that sort of stuff. And then the... Oh right, yeah, the fire control, if you only want to use a fire control for a single weapon, then reduces the size of the fire control to half, which also helps a lot in making fighters, for example. And we completed fuel refineries in London. Okay, we're now producing 2 million liters, but yeah, I think we just need to increase that. Put another 25 at 10%, I suppose. Right, how many... We still got a massive amount of infrastructure in here. We do have 1 million liters of fuel at least. Could be a lot worse. And then there's of course some accidental features in like the ship designs here. It's classed for something for auto assignment purposes, but since the classes, or most of the classes, are obfuscated right now, so it just gives you a letter or something like that, which doesn't really help a lot. But that is something that is going to be used a lot in the next version, I believe, when the AI will try to determine what the ship giving to them is actually. Ooh, I'm gonna think of it. That's going to be quite interesting. Like, you could technically create an NPR race that would have all the stuff, but then you can kind of delete the system that their colony is in. You can give them a colony, or make them a colony on Space Master mode, I think, maybe? Maybe. But if you can, then you can give the colony, build that up the way you want, and then give it to them, and then you can also give the ships that you want to give them. That might be interesting, but yeah, the AI should be then in 1.14 be able to kind of determine on what sort of ship you've been, or it's been given, and then try to use it accordingly. And also the auto assignment for commanders, of course, is a bit smarter now. Not sure how we got on the... So Christensen does have 1.8 terraforming installations right now, and I think the terraforming, yeah, it's still quite slow, in all fairness. We are working on it, and we got the naval shipyard complex now built, so we can now start retooling, or rather upgrading the capacity of here, of this one to 5 kilotons. We can have that for the 7th rate ships. And then over here because we have enough fuel now, although the cargo fleet 2 could use a bit of refueling, couldn't it? Let's take a look. How much are you missing? 1.4 million, okay. May need to wait a little bit then. Although, oh, actually, we haven't gotten the sorghum harvester yet, have we? No. I think that's something that we need to start working on. Add that to the queue there. And we should be getting another research lab in 2 years. Oh wait, right. We just got the shipyard complex, so now we need to figure out what the hell do we want to do next. Got some automated mines already. I suppose what I could do is I could build something like cargo shuttle bay or cargo shuttle station, for example. That can then be taken into Plymouth. Some other things going on. Nothing to worry about though. I'm actually pretty glad that I did activate the civilian shipping now on this session. Because, oh, cargo fleet completed orders, right, so that means that the terraforming installation in Christensen has been increased to level 2, or size 2. Oh, we have gotten a tiny bit of atmosphere there right now. It is very slow still, but you know, at least it is there, and I think it might actually increase the, maybe not yet, but soon enough, once we get to like 0.001 or something like that, it should already have a bit of an effect on the temperature. Because we really need to warm the planet up a little bit. Look at the... So you can't build anything, you're still working on the mines there. The mines, we got quite a bit of corundium for sure. Neutronium is still a bit of a problem, but we are mining now 11 tons per year. Especially, oh right, since we got the extra mining now. That should speed up quite nicely. And we've still got plenty of storage to mine in London, so that's good. We are using 1,000 tons per year. We're mining 1,600 tons. So we got quite a bit of extra there. It means that we'll build up a bit of a stockpile at least. Yeah, that's pretty good. Ooh, we do have 1.7 million liters of fuel now, so I think you need to refuel. You should probably refuel now. Refuel. Give you some orders once you've done that. So I believe order template. Do we take? Well, I think we're just gonna take more infrastructure into Christensen. Maybe not forever, but we'll repeat it 9 times. So we'll get a total of 100 infrastructure in there, which again is not going to be a massive increase in the population, but it should be enough so that we can then maybe get more terraforming installations there or something. Or maybe we can get some mines in there, which honestly probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Because it has quite... well, actually no, it is not that great. I mean, it does have at least uranium and neutronium. We could technically start building some construction factories if nothing else. What else do we have in Skakara? This is actually not a bad place for mining. It's low gravity. But we could certainly start shuffling the resources from here. Get some automated mines and mass driver. Beam it over to Christensen. So yeah, that would be pretty good. Orkney, we really need to start mining over there as well. It has a massive amount of mercasium there and pretty good accessibility as well. So this might well become a good place for research. Has a good capacity of population. Actually not a bad call, even if I say so myself. Then over here we are still mining the 180 tons per year. It has actually increased a little bit at least. The government does give 20% increase. And over here we just have the problem with neutronium. Is there anything over here that produces more neutronium? No, by the looks of it. Well, at least not that we have marked already. So that would be in the channel, right? Let's have a look at mineral sector. Is there anything that has neutronium? No, it's only that. Oh, it does have a large quantity in there. It's just the quality is so horrendous that it's going to be really slow getting the resource out of there. Oh well, could be worse. So the moon number 3 would be really good for extra uranium, also vendrite and iridium. Actually, I think Plymouth might be a good place to, considering all the resources that we are mining here, or will be mining in here with some automated mines later on, might be good for making a lot of ground units. And that, ooh, actually, once we get ground units that can do the or ground units with the construction equipment, so we don't necessarily need neutronium as much. We can just supplement that with vendorite instead. Interesting idea. Right, well, let's keep on going forward in time at least. Oh, right, did the cargo fleet one? Yeah, you completed your orders. Okay, what we should probably do is load installation, get an automated mine. I think we're going to do another mine in here, and I believe it was the Moon 3 over here that we want to set up next. We go there, then London, refuel, then repeat that 4 times, then load up a mass driver. Go back to the channel, Moon 3, unload all installations, go back to North Sea, and then in London you can refuel again. There we go, so that's less than 800 days at least. Be seeing the ship arrive here soon. There we go. Well, that's first of the mine set up there. Oh, and infrastructure production completed at London. I think what we're going to do right now, since we got massive amount of infrastructure, I'm just going to increase this to 20% instead, so we get the fuel production up a little bit quicker. Because we still have a bit of a problem with that. Because once we get the research done, it's probably still going to take a while. That should also speed it up by another 20%. Oh, there we go. We completed a mine in Plymouth. Right, how bad are we missing neutronium? We got 22. I don't think we can actually complete all of these. You know what? I'm just going to put in that to like 20% right now, and then put in something else to be produced. Question is, what can we produce? It's a factory. Ooh, financial centers. That might not be a terrible idea. Reinforced construction. Oh, right, that actually takes a lot of neutronium. Infrastructure is always an option. Although we got so many available workers in here that I don't know if we need to focus on infrastructure right now. We could always just get more mines, I suppose, because we've got plenty of available workers. And we've got plenty of resources for mines. Well, not for a massive amount of mines to be fair, but for a few more. Let's get 5 at 50. At least with 30%. I think what we might want to do is, well, not the tracking station clearly. Anything else? Research facility. Oh! Okay, that does take a lot of Mercassian though. Don't need to do terraforming in here, do we? What about the cargo shuttle? Oh no, that requires boronite. Okay, never mind. I think the financial centers might be the best option right now, so let's put that to 30%. Now the construction fleet over here is quite small, to be fair, but I think over time it will be increasing. I mean, we could always just transport more construction factories there if need be. Or rather, when need be. Well, our logistics capabilities are still rather small. I think effective cargo capacity that we have is 2 standard cargo holds, so yeah, it's not all that impressive considering that we are already 50 years into the game here. Are we still having... Yeah, we don't have a massive amount of fuel yet. We are going to be completing the... Hold on. Completing the research facility first, then cargo shuttle station, and then the deep space tracking station. All of those are next year. Okay. I was getting worried there for a moment. I would have to figure out what the hell to build next. Luckily I can postpone that a little bit longer. Commander things once more. Oh, now we're in January, February, and it was in April that... Oh, shipping line. Ah yeah, a new shipping line has opened. Wonder what they will be doing. Let's have a look at North Sea again. So we got a colony ship waiting at London. And we got a freighter heading back to London. Another freighter heading to London. The other one should be transporting probably infrastructure actually. Oh, and we just completed the research facility. Okay. Now, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to build more research facilities because we have relatively few of them. Put another 5 there at 20%. Like, we are a total of 10 now. Now, do I increase the... I think we're going to increase the fuel production speed. Try to go for that so that we can maybe get the thorium harvester as well. And then we can start producing fuel a bit more in other places as well. Right, but that should be a decent start, I suppose. We should be getting another thing completed soon. Yeah, that was the deep space tracking stations. Suppose we could build another 50 mines or so. Actually, how many mines do we have right now? We're at 80, plus a lot of automated mines. I think we're going to build 70 mines. That's 20%, so that's going to take a while. It's going to be at least one thing that we can do while we wait. Oh, and another freighter has been completed. Good. At least there's a decent bit of traffic going in and out of London right now. And the cargo shuttle station has been completed, and we started working on the mines. Good. And we did complete the packing stations in London, so we actually have nothing in there, or we got a bit of room there anyway. We're making pretty good money. Actually built another military academy. Just so that we get a bit more researchers and all that sort of stuff. I think that will be fine. I didn't. Let's just keep on rolling. And another freighter by the civilians and a color ship. Okay, well, I think... Let's have a look. How much are we making on a yearly basis right now from the civilian sector? 320. Not too bad. Actually, really good. Right, so over here in London, we still produce the extra... Oh, we do produce extra wines as well. And then luxury food, infrastructure, of course, and entertainment products. And then Plymouth, still only textiles. Once it gets to... I don't remember if it's 10 or 25 million it should be producing everything that it's going to be producing. And Christensen and Orkney still only produce infrastructure, and not very high numbers of those either. And another freighter. What do we have total now? I'm actually a bit curious. We got 1 plus 2, 2 plus 2, so that's 3 plus 4. And 4 plus 7. So we've got 7 freighters and 4 colony ships. I mean, I'd say that's pretty nice. And that's a lot of infrastructure being transported right now. Wait, that means that Christensen has been growing quite nicely, and there's a lot of workers in there. And was there... Right, if I remember correctly, yeah, these mines are not particularly good. I mean, we can get a lot of uranium in there, which isn't bad. If I remember correctly though, this one had... Oh right, yeah, this one had good resources, but... Well, relatively good resources. Actually, that accessibility is bloody amazing. But at the same time, you can't fit a population in there. And then over here, this is 300 million at low gravity. Be 3 billion, but that's very high colony cost because it's close to minus 200 degrees Celsius. So not a very hospitable planet, so to speak. And then we got 100 million in there, that's low gravity as well. And this one, oh, 26 billion. But again, it's a bit cold. 242 degrees Celsius in the negatives. Yeah, colony cost is almost 10. That would be, yeah, it's a bit of a cold system. Like, if I remember correctly, we can take a look at the star in there. Yeah, luminosity is about a quarter of that of Sol, so yeah, it is a bit dim light there. Now, at least there's one planet that is very warm, but it's a super Jovian, so that doesn't really help us. It doesn't even have any thorium there in that one. There is some other gas giants though in there that definitely do have, like this one, 500 million tons of thorium at 1 accessibility. That's actually a really good place. Do want to set up some harvesting up there, but it will take some time. Cargo fleet completed orders, right? Let's go ahead and give it some new. Actually, before we give it the new orders, let's go ahead over here and give the mines orders to shoot their stuff into Plymouth or shop. I suppose we could say to transport them, but at least in roleplay sense, yeah, since we are kind of playing a Age of Sail playthrough here. But yeah, that's going to be transported into Plymouth. So there's going to be a lot more duranium, vendrite, thorium, and uridium. And when there are thorium, uridium, and all resources that they don't produce in here, still missing tritanium and boronide. And we could use a bit more neutronium production, to be fair. But I guess you can't have everything. Also, how much do we produce? Okay, so uranium on a yearly basis is currently 78 per year. So that's a new mine every 2 years. Not automated mine, but regular mine. That's actually not too bad. I think, how many mass drivers do we have? We've got 7 in here, so we don't actually need... Oh, and in here we only have like 1 comet that we want to mine. So we might want to start mining that already, just to make sure that we actually are utilizing everything in North Sea, because if I remember correctly, there was a really bad resource in North Sea. Well, there's actually a couple of gas giants there. Oh wow. Wait, no, it was 500 million, sorry, in the one with the 1 accessibility. But anyway, this one has 210 million tons of thorium, but 0.4 accessibility. So the harvesting speed is not going to be quite optimal, but it will last for a long while. And there's a titanium comet, and then there's this comet. There was a small planet over here with 2,000 tons of uranium, but yeah, most of the system over here is quite barren. I really want to get some whaling going on, aka thorium harvesting. But first, we need to get the research done. Right, so let's think about what to do with the fleet. Pull that to the side real quick and try to decide... Actually, it might be easier to just check from here. I think something in Skagerrak might be good. Maybe we should get the mines in Christensen right now. And that's not actually a terrible idea. Probably 1. Load some mines. Because we can just put in regular mines there without any significant issues. Christensen, unload installation. Go back, refuel there. Repeat that 4 times. Again, it's another 800 days that it takes to do all of that, but it should be fine. Civilians contracted another freighter. So that should be freighter number 8, I suppose. there is quite a bit of traffic in and out of London now. Quite nice to see. Oh, hey, we got the shipyard upgraded here. Although, that reminds me, before I set that, I think we need to redo the design here. So copy class, we're probably going to go with the 1748 because that's when we design, or at least set the design for the new small fire control. We can obsolete that component. And then, yeah, we'll rename this to 1748. And we can then replace the fire control. Oh, right, I need to add in the year over here. 1748. There we go. So that gives us an extra 40 tons of space in here. We actually have pretty good fuel capacity in here. Like 60 billion range is not bad, even though it is a survey vessel, but it's a relatively small survey vessel. I'm not too worried about that. Could put in a bit of a maintenance supply points, I suppose. And we have upgraded the cannons, right? Yeah, we have. I think we're just going to put in a small maintenance storage there, and maybe we could put in a bit more fuel storage. Put in a tiny, I believe we can, and then get rid of those two. Then we can actually get rid of the tiny and put in a small one there. There we go. That gives us 61.7 billion kilometer range, so that's 9 months of sailing. Isn't too bad, actually. Although I think we need to start setting up some stuff so that we can actually refuel a bit closer to the, well, to the outskirts. Of course, there are still quite a few jump points to explore nearby, which reminds me, we have still... Oh, we actually have... Oh, no. Anything about that? We got 1 million liters of fuel. I think what we'll do is we'll give orders to the Romulus 1 to do overhaul. Romulus 2 could probably do overhaul as well, just in case. Although maybe first refuel and resupply, then begin overhaul. Romulus 1 has started overhaul. One has started overhaul. Then we'll start sending them out their usual ways. Oh, well, we'll just give them orders to go there, and if there's... Or do surveying. If there's nothing to survey, go to a place that requires craft survey. Seems to be usually a good way to do it. Going through the channel, you should probably be heading to Celtic Sea. There should be plenty to survey here. Presumably it's heading here. Are you heading here? Oh, we went to Bay of Biscay. Okay, well, that works as well. Ah, Romulus 1 has completed overhaul. How much do we have fuel? We've got 750,000. So I think we can put in the Romulus 1 back into full swing of things. Put in the same standing orders as the Romulus 2. And it has appeared here. So far, if we have a look at the map, we don't know all that many systems. We know of 6 systems. Of 1, we have actually surveyed all the entrances. Actually, 2, we have surveyed all the entrances. The Channel and North Sea, but that makes sense, given that we are playing as the British Empire. Do we get more research, I wonder? We're still pretty far away from most of it. 58 is going to be the next one, and that's almost 5 years away from now. Because if the researcher gets a bit more bonus there, then it might be fine. Oh, jump point is actually in Bay of Biscay, okay. Oh, we've got a lot of directions to head to from here then. Naval officer, that's quite nice, although I think we're going to need a lot more researchers soon. Starting to have a bit of a shortage of them. And that should be heading back through Channel. Oh, system survey, so this quite a few points in here to go to. I think Romulus 2, how are you doing in terms of fuel? Mostly okay. I'm just going to remove all, and I think we should probably go to the one of the unexplored jump points there, which is actually the closest one to the channel jump point. Oh, civilians contracted another colony ship. Okay. I accidentally skipped through that. And Romulus 2 is actually heading back home now. Okay, never mind then. Right, well, if we have a look at the Celtic Sea... Oh, that's also heading back to home. Celtic Sea is the only one that we haven't surveyed all the jump points. Or survey points. At least. There's still a couple places where there are some planets that we haven't surveyed, but it's mostly because they're bloody far away. We just don't have the range to go there and back. But Romulus 2 is surveying up here. And now it's went to the Celtic Sea. Okay. We're doing the gravitational surveys at least. One time exceeded on Romulus 1. Oh no, that was Romulus 1 that got here. Oh, it didn't complete the survey. It's a bit of a shame. And civilians did contract another freighter. Have a look at the North Sea again. Oh wow, yeah, there is starting to be quite a bit of traffic in here. Freighter is loading up something, colony ship is taking enough to Skagerrak, or people Skagerrak, so Christensen. How much do we have population there already? 2.6 million. Also, we started to get a little bit of mining going in there. We've got 4 of the mines already in there. And we've still got plenty of available workers. I wonder, what does the terraforming... Oh! If we were to get a bit of construction factory in here, increase the mining operations in here, we can start building terraforming installations right here. Interesting. I mean, it's going to take a lot of resources, of course, to do that, but it can be done. Just uranium and boronite. The uranium we are mining a decent chunk compared to the amount of factories that, or mines that we have there. Boronite, on the other hand, not so much. New shipping line. I actually wonder, can you rename the shipping lines if you want to? You can, okay, good. It's something to keep in mind. Maybe for some other run. We're worried about that this time. Romulus 1 is heading back out. I think it's heading to the Celtic Sea, right? Well, Romulus 2 is over here. They've managed to survey at least a tiny bit. But it's just... Under the problem is that they managed to do a tiny bit of survey, then they either run out of fuel or go over the deployment time. And then they spend so much time going back and forth while fixing one and then realizing, oh, now I need to fix the other one. It's less than optimal, but that's more because of the ship design rather than, well, and partially also the AI. Although I don't actually know if the compile order would actually help now. I know that in 1.12 it didn't work quite as intended. Okay, Cargo Fleet 2 has completed orders. What were you doing, if I may ask? We were transporting infrastructure to... Okay. I suppose we could start making another colony then. Somewhere. Or we could actually... Let's go ahead and just transport some construction factories into Christensen. Because I need to just say that I have some plans. So unload all installations. 5 is not going to be a lot of production speed, to be fair, but it's at least enough to maybe get started on a few things. Yes, let's go back to North Sea and London and refuel. Repeat that 4 times. And yeah, I think that's going to be fine. Could technically make that into a order template at some point. As I don't know how many construction factories I'm going to be transporting there. Okay, deployment time on Romulus 2 exceeded at the Galaxy, but they have surveyed the innermost survey locations already. Question is, how long is it going to take to survey everything? Also, production of fuel refineries in London completed. Okay. We've got 75 right now. How much are we using Sorin per year? 1500, and we're mining 1700. Okay. It could be a lot worse, but I don't think we're going to fit in that much more in there right now. On the other hand, the 3 million liters per year isn't that terrible. It's still quite small, to be fair. But at least it should allow us to increase the fuel reserves. Yeah, I do have the fuel tick incoming as well, although it is still going to take 5 years. So there is that. But yeah, I think we can probably let the fuel refineries be as is right now. Could increase the financial centers, I suppose, but that's not really that important either. Honestly, I think we're just going to build another naval shipyard complex at 20%. Because that will allow us to start setting up a shipyard for the light frigates also. I never actually retooled this one. I think Romulus 1748 should be fine. We can build the older models as well. That's good to know. But yeah, the 5th rate is going to be 10 kilotons, then 4th rate is 12.5, so it's the same size as the commercial ships that we have. And then 15 and 17.5 and 20. And 20 kilotons is going to be the biggest ship that we're going to be having on this run. Well, battleship anyway. Like there may be some harvesters and stuff like that are going to be bigger. And then of course the space stations. Civilian construction. Another freighter, okay. One time of Romulus exceeded. Oh, you managed to do a couple more points there at least. Here's a problem. Honestly, I think what might be a good idea soon, instead of focusing on increasing the range too much on the server, is just putting in an extra sensor there, especially for the gravitational survey. It takes so long time because, well, I mean, we do have it at 25% survey speed. It is causing some issues. And another color ship, okay. Oh. Someone... No, we just got a new... Oh, we got a new research lab. Okay, I'm just going to put that to the fuel production speed. So now it's going to be done in 1759 instead of 1761. Also, the researcher has gotten a bit more, or gotten a bit more bonuses, so that's nice. Diamonds. Experiences, mostly political reliability, of course. Oh, Romulus 1 completed overhaul. We got 1.2 million liters. And also, how much does the... Okay, that has gotten up to 100% training. Good. We didn't actually have to do a lot of training. I mean, actually, has the... Oh, there's no commander on the training now. Is there any commander in... Right, most commanders have died again. Alright then. Give it a quick save. And then let's go through the commanders once more. Admin commands. Is this one? Yeah, you are in charge of North Sea Command. I think we need to put you in charge of that one though. Then let's actually increase the... Commodore is probably fine. You got a pretty good training bonus, so I suppose we could put you in charge of the naval training. Or if we just put you in charge of this North Sea Navy itself, that would mean that you would be putting the training bonus passively. Or would you actually? Put you on into the command of the North Sea Command. because you do need to be that rank anyway. So that would mean that the crew training bonus is going to be passively added. And it is pretty high crew training bonus. But that means that we don't necessarily need to put anyone on the training fleet itself. Although, you should probably go to the training fleet anyway, so we have at least someone with training in there. And then the last one over here, you've got terraforming production. And political reliability. I suppose I could put you into... Not really that. You know what? I could just save you, or just not give you work right now, because we don't have the whaling fleets quite yet. We don't necessarily need anyone there. Right, so let's open up captains. Probably close that to... Let's just go to captains directly. Right, so we've got some captain over here with decent crew training. Free operations. Political reliability. I'll just put that into the navy. And you got... Actually, you got pretty good tactics. Bit of mining. Put you in the patrol, although we don't actually have anyone in patrols yet. Then you got survey bonus. Do we have anyone else that has better survey bonus in here? Not really. It's not really that great bonus, but hey, it's still someone in charge there. And then you got... Does anyone over here have logistics? No, not really. Could go for commanders as well to see if there's anyone better. Okay, you got some survey bonus there, but that's not what we're looking for. Actually, we're just putting the logistics here, I suppose. Makes it a bit easier. Because we do have a commander with logistics. So you're going to be in charge of that. Excellent. And civilians just built another colony ship. Huzzah! And the... Oh, space liner, okay. So it's going to move some people around, not very effectively, but it will be providing a lot of money. And we completed the military academy. That's good because we have really few researchers right now. We kind of need more. Is there anything else that we are... So we've got 3 ships currently maintained. One of them is a survey vessel and the other 2 are not. So speaking of... I suppose what we could do is just refit the old Romulus in here. It shouldn't take all that long. It's just mostly going to upgrade the the fire control there, and then add in a tiny bit more fuel. That should be fine, I suppose. We've got 2 million liters of fuel now. Kind of tempted to build one of the systems then, so that we'll have one. Add that to the London Reserve. It'll be done in a bit over a year. That's not too bad. Again, it's not particularly expensive. It's 600. But like, I'm pretty sure that some of these, like the colony ship is about the same price. Even though, well, it's a commercial ship, but the colony ships are usually quite expensive anyway. Cryopods are not cheap. That reminds me, so we've got about 1.6 million liters of fuel. I think we can send out the Romulus number 3 out again. We'll give you the regular orders, just making sure that you have, you don't necessarily need to do maintenance either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to... Go to Arctic. Just explore another one. So we should be finding a new system. Oh, okay, we got another Crete. Let's actually have a look. So we got... Oh, right, yeah, that... Let's have a look. So what do we have here? Seem to have quite a few planets that are potentially habitable. Oh, there's oxygen over here. That might well be either ruins or something. I don't know yet. And that also has some oxygen. What about that second system over here? So actually... Ooh, the temperatures aren't that terrible. I mean, they're not great either, but they're not that terrible. The gravity isn't great in a lot of these planets. On the secondary star... Oh, luminosity is very small here, so these are going to be cold. A bit of oxygen there. And there's a massive amount of low gravity moons. A couple of super Jovians though, so that means that there's going to be so many Lagrange points here. Yeah, well, that's going to make traveling around there quite easy. Just use that to go anywhere of these 3 points here. And it's not actually that massive system either. Like, if we have a look at the distance to the jump points, that's what, 4 billion? Yeah, about 4 billion. And then over here from, say, the outermost Lagrange point, yeah, it's about 4 billion. Well, technically this secondary star is probably about 6 billion kilometers across. But since the Lagrange points make the traveling so easy, it's going to be quite interesting. Well, I'm interested to see what we find here. At least we can travel around really quickly. Surveying might take some time. Oh, jump point to Celtic Sea. I think what we might want to do is rename this to the Norwegian Sea or something like that. Not entirely sure if it's going to be a fitting name or not, but we'll see. And the big question is, are we going to have some jump points that loop back soon? Maybe, maybe not. Hold on. Did we actually retool that ship already or not? We probably did. Yeah, we did. Okay, good. I got a bit worried there for a moment. Did I manage to send a ship out while we were still doing a shipyard task? That's not supposed to be possible. But no, that is not what I did. Okay, we're almost to heading back for overhaul. And deployment time conceded on Romulus 1 as well. Okay, so that's heading back home for overhaul as well. Under promoted. Okay, well, so far we managed to survey at least 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 3 survey locations. Isn't too. Oh, hey, we got the thermal sensor sensitivity. Right. I suppose what I could do is I could redo some of the survey sensors. Or not survey sensors, the thermal sensors. Although I could probably do that later. It's not really a huge priority right now, but we should probably do something with the researchers. Gravitational strength might be a good idea. That would allow us to spot things from farther away, although we're not actually using our active sensors all that much yet. On the other hand, the improved gravitational sensor will be taking so long time. Probably not that worth it. Yeah, is there... Is that logistics? Yeah, improved command and control. Although, getting the bigger fuel storage wouldn't be bad either. But we don't have logistics researcher right now. I think survey or sensors and control systems is probably going to be the way to go right now with these labs. So I think, I mean, the better fire control is always nice, but I think we're going to go for the gravity sensor strength. Well, Romulus 2 arrived here. And construction factory completed at London. How many do we have right now, I wonder? We got a total of 245. Oh, because we transport it. Right. Transport a lot of it to Christensen, I believe. Was it Orkney? Oh, wow. Orkney actually has increased massively. Like, everyone's just taking infrastructure and colonies there right now. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing. Like, we could certainly, if we were to bring in some mines here, we could certainly get quite a bit nice selection of resources. One cities maybe not so much. But yeah, we got all the colonies covered right now with some garrisons, so that's nice. Okay, so I think we're just going to keep on building more construction factories. Honestly, you can't have too many of those. Well, you can, but usually you don't hit that easily. Wait, was there something else that we produced and I forgot to tap in? The fuel refineries, at least. That we built, and then something else. Something that I suppose I could do is a repair yard. Just one of those at 20%. Just so that if and when we need to, we can repair stuff rather easily and still keep on building more ships as well. I believe you can still repair on regular shipyards as well, but it's just the repair shipyard is easier to increase in size than naval shipyard at least. Oh, we found some minerals. That's a comet with over 250,000 tons of neutronium at 0.5 and 67,000 mercatium at 1 and 26,000 corundum. Okay. I'd say that definitely not the worst comet I've seen. Got no colony there. Romo's 1 completed overhaul, and Statham has been built. Good. How are we doing in terms of fuel now? We got 2 million liters of fuel actually. A bit surprised. I thought it would be probably maybe 1 million now again, but nope, that is not the case. Let's actually have a look. Do we have more cargo fleets? Yeah, you're not doing anything. Okay, but you need to refuel actually. Well, not that badly, I think. Let's just load some more automated mines. Here's the thing, where do we want to send them? Let's pull that to the side real quick. Open this. Look at the mines here. So getting stuff to Orkney wouldn't be bad, but we can get regular mines in there. But I actually see A1 wouldn't be too bad, and that is a fairly high planetary cost or colonization cost. It has high pressure. Oh, it's not Venusian planet, but it has. Well, it's pretty close to being a Venusian planet. Okay, so automated mines here might not be that bad. I mean, it would be a decent amount of current. Well, it's actually not that much corundum there. Dendrite, on the other hand, would be quite good in here. See, you got a massive quantities, but really bad qualities. Over here, we got decent qualities, but not that massive quantities, especially uranium there. And then titanium, we just don't need. We're not going to go for missiles anyway. Moon 22 here would be good for uridium and mercatium, so maybe worth mining. Galizite and uranium over here. Oh, now that would be something, but not massive total accessibility there. So it's a bit of a. Actually, you could just get some in the comet here. Actually, it would be quite quick and simple. Unload all installations. It'll be so quick that I don't think we need to refuel even. So we'll just repeat that 4 times and then we can refuel at the colony, and that's still 9 months to do all of that. Some resources from there at least. Oh, I didn't give the orders to get a mass driver there, did I? I should probably fix that. And remove the last. The London load driver. There you are. And go to the comet. And then you get your refuel. Already transported 1 mine there, so that's quite nice. That's going to give us a lot of galisite and... What was the other one? Boronite? Yeah, boronite and galisite. That should be fairly useful. Oh, research completed on the fuel consumption. Good, so we're going to get more fuel efficient engines if we want. Although for now, I think it might be a good idea to start working on getting the next tier of engines as well. But first we need to get the reactor tech. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, so we'll start with that. And after that, we might actually get the power plant boost 10%. So we can potentially lower the size of the, or make our gunpowder storages a bit smaller. Right, new mineral deposit in... Ooh, that's a lot of uranium and carbamide. That's definitely not the worst place to mine either. I mean, it's not the best, to be fair. Not bad colonization cost. For low gravity location, it's actually not that bad. Population cap. There's 190 million. Or 189, but close enough. Right, so we'll put in a colony there. See if we can find some other good things from there. From the planets around. I'm tempted to figure out what is on the... Oh, more minerals on Moon. 9 million uranium at 0.5 accessibility, 1 million carbamide at 0.8, and vendorite almost 400,000 at 1.0. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a colony. Which one was it? This one? Yes. Now, in a way, it would be hilarious if at this point we just brought in some aliens in here and they just destroy our ships and all that, and suddenly they appear in London like, oh crap. We would not be prepared for that sort of stuff. Oh, there was orders completed on the cargo fleet 1. Okay, so that means that over here in the Comet we can actually just put you into transport the resource to London. It's not a massive amount of resources. We could probably bring in a bit more automated mines here at some point. But right now I just want to set up stuff on a lot of places. And actually, Governor? Mining. Maybe logistics if need be. And then maybe wealth generation, I don't know. Automated, but yeah, mining is the most important. 10% there. Do we have? We got someone in here, we got someone in here. There and something there. Good. What about these two? That one has that. This one doesn't have anyone. Okay, well, let's put in someone. Mining. Or actually, we'll probably have logistics there as the second one. Automated. There we go. So you've got 5% mining. So that's at least a little bit extra tons of resources per year. Right. So now I think we need to figure out which place to start mining next. I mean, we could just get another colony going in here. There would be some more corundum, ganasite, and uranium. Or, ooh, boronite, which would actually quite useful. Bit of corundum, potassium, carbamide. Okay, so it has slightly higher accessibility at least. Yeah, the moon number 2 at A8 might be the next place to put in a colony. So we shall load automated mines. Go to channel, and then A8, moon 2, load all installations with the North Sea. Refuel probably. Then we'll repeat that 4 times. And then we'll just need to do the trip to take a mass driver there. And in the future we can just transport automated mines for quite a while before we need to send in another mass driver. Right, so channel. Moon 2, unload all installations, and then you can go back to North Sea. And then refuel at London. Yeah, just that one's good. Like 3 times, so I wasn't entirely sure which way I did. Right, that should be fine. Keep that one busy at least. Is the cargo fleet 2 doing anything? No, you're not. Let's see. What could we do? Like, Orkney has a lot of people. I suppose we could just bring in some mines there. Probably a good idea. So, load a mine. And then go to Arctic Sea. Orkney. Load all installations. North Sea. Refuel. Repeat this 4 times. And then create a template on orc 9. Probably put the X5 there as well. There we go. It only takes a year to do that. Oh wow. Okay, well that means that we'll get some mining going in there soon. Which is not a bad thing. Overhaul of the Romulus completed, good. Or Romulus number 2. Be heading back here soon, I reckon. Because we did do the... Oh no, we didn't do all the surveying in Celtic Sea, but we did most of it. Oh, there's still 13 to survey in there. I suppose it might actually be... Actually, we're not displaying the distance, are we, right now? From selected system. So that's 9 point... Okay, so Norwegian Sea is actually closer than the Celtic Sea. Channel is relatively close, although not quite as close as Arctic Sea. And... is closer than Bay of Biscay. I suppose that makes sense. Oddly enough, Bay of Biscay is actually closer than Norwegian Sea. Probably we'd just be naming these on random. Well, not entirely random, but semi-random. We don't know where they lead or anything like that beforehand. We've completed, and we haven't actually found any new camp points here yet. Of course, we are hard at work surveying the survey locations. We've still got quite a few left. And deployment time exceeded on Romulus 3. Okay, well that's going to be heading home then. Oh, well there we go. That's a jump point. It's actually not far away from the first jump point in here either. And it would appear that we've found quite a bit of resource in here now, so... Oh, there's another comet. Point number 3. Quantities aren't that great. The resource selection isn't massive either, but we might put a colony in there sometime. Should be fine. Oh, and there we go. We got the fuel production research completed. So how much do we make fuel at London now? 3.6 million. Yeah, that's not too bad. We've got 2 million litres of reserve, which honestly isn't much. But it is certainly better than nothing. If we have a quick look at the reserve fleet over here, where you have 0 ammo, because you don't actually need to have ammo. Got on 12% training right now, which isn't great. Isn't the worst either. We may need to refuel and resupply this at some point. But right now, they should be perfectly fine orbiting the planet. Looks like we are surveying around here. We're surveying the innermost planets. It's a long-term survey, isn't it? 500 points required still. Oh boy. But we got a naval shipyard complex at North Sea. What I'm tempted to do is just put this to be upgraded up to 10,000. We don't need the frigates quite yet. Although it would be nice to get one soon enough, but then we don't need to worry about retooling these two anytime soon. Not yet anyway. Of course, for the frigates we are going to need a new engine to be designed, but we can probably wait for the next engine tier anyway. Oh, civilian construction. Okay, we've got another freighter. We've got another jump point. That's pretty close to the center of the system. Interesting. Wait a minute, did we? We did not survey that yet, did we? No, we did. Oh, it was the Jupiter Jovian right at the center there. I see. We surveyed, okay, but didn't find anything there, unfortunately. Here we found... Oh, no wonder that we're finding so much resources. It's only half a galactic year. or whatever this time unit of age here is, but yeah, it's a relatively new system, but there's still plenty of resources around. On the health, commander promoted. New mineral deposits. Oh, another. Oh, asteroid. Oh, yeah, we do have asteroids here. Not particularly good resources though, so I'm not going to put any colony there. Romulus 2 exceeded deployment time. What I might actually do is just let the civilians take care of the asteroids. I'll take care of the moons and planets and comets, so that they can get some mining going on. Oh, construction factory completed at Plymouth. Ooh. Well, well. Oh, only has a 10 million already. Oh, wow. I should probably put this as a stable. Like, it has a massive worker capacity in there. We just haven't brought in much things to work on yet. And it has a massive... Oh, wow, population growth is still massive. 10%. Okay, well, yeah, I don't think we need more colonies in there. I think it should be focusing on places like Plymouth and Christiansand. Actually, I mean, Plymouth is already quite a bit of workers, or workers as well. We've got 10 construction factories now. And we got a bit of neutronium. Probably not enough to actually utilize that too much, though. We've got a massive amount of mercasium and thorium. What we could do... can we... refueling station? That would require boron. We don't do that yet, and I'm guessing fuel refinery also takes that, so we can't make any fuel refineries. Although, aren't we going to be mining boronite here? We are, and relatively good speed. I mean, we might actually want to increase the production speeds in here, so we might just want to get another 5 mines here after we got the mass driver, which we of course don't have quite yet. But yeah, Plymouth, I think, still making more mines. I'm assuming we got plenty of corundum. We do. Got a bit of iridium. Have enough to make a tracking station. Create one of them here. May not be the best use of the time here, to be fair, but hey, it's still a little bit progress there, or something that is going to be used or useful to have. We got a new research lab. Okay, do we go for the thorium harvester? That might not be a terrible idea, or for the terraforming rate, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the pebble wet reactor. Not the best, actually, that's the poorest research bonus. You know what? No, we're not gonna go for that one. I think we're gonna go for the terraforming rate, just so that we can speed up that a little bit. And then let's have a look at Christiansand, because we know that the terraforming over there is going forward a little bit. I think we may have lowered the temperature cost factor by a 1 point or something like that, or maybe not. Maybe not. I know that we've got a tiny bit of an atmosphere added in there. Of course, we do also need to remove some of the extra oxygen, but I just want to make sure that the temperature factor is not a problem anymore. And then we're going to just focus on getting the extra oxygen out. That should be mostly fine. Retirement there. Surely civilian constructed another colony ship. And commanders and experiences. Oh, and we are serving a lot around here. Alright, so we got Lagrange point right there. We've got another one there. There, and we should have one. Yeah, we got one over there. There's 4 in this secondary star here. My goodness. That means 4 Super Jovians. Civilians constructed another colony ship. Flying time on Romulus 1 exceeded. And a freighter. Okay, I think we have quite a few civilian ships now moving about, and we constructed mines in Plymouth. How much are we mining in Plymouth itself? Getting 18 neutronium per year? Not a lot still. Not a lot at all. On the other hand, think what we could do is we could build one construction factory again. Then maybe get a bit more mines and that sort of stuff. I just want to increase the speed that we construct things a little bit. Because we've got plenty of resources to build more mines. But we need to get a bit more construction factories to be able to utilize more of the resources on a yearly basis. Of course, having the extra resources there, we could start... Actually, what we could do, we could go to Plymouth, put in reserve levels at, I don't know, 500. All of these. Don't suppose there is a way to just copy the reserve from one place to another, other than copying the 500, of course, and pasting it on the text here. I don't know, copying just 3 characters seems kind of a waste. Although we do need to write it extra 10 times then, so it would be 30 characters, but doesn't change the amount of key presses all that much. But we're gonna have those. We could probably build a cargo ship, so a hauler. Put that on cargo fleet. Great task. It will take some time, and we got plenty of fuel reserves now. So what we can do is we're going to have that ship going and picking up the extra minerals in Plymouth, taking them to London, just so that we'll have that set up, so eventually there's going to be a lot of resources in here. And it's a good thing that we bring more to London, because London is going to be the primary base for production, probably, for quite a while. We've got a pretty good stockpile of thorium already. Makes me quite happy. Oh, but refineries are using almost as much as we're mining right now. Okay, so that stockpile is not going to be growing anytime soon. We're not making more refineries, are we? No. Are we getting more mines, though? I didn't realize that we had more spaces over here. Oh, it was probably the naval shipyard, wasn't it? That might be it. We could get a refueling station, I suppose. If I remember correctly, these stations take about 10 cargo holds worth of space. Maybe 20. Well, it's at least 10. So what we'll probably want to do, we might want to start carrying... Oh, right, we got cargo shuttle. Oh. So technically 2 stations over here that we could just transport away if need be. We can get one to Plymouth and another one to either Orkney or Christensen. Wow, the Orkney population is still massive. Really humongous. Alright then. No neutronium production in here though. It's a bit of an issue. Right, so does the cargo fleet 2... No, they're not doing anything. Okay, well, London. Load installation. One thing that would be nice is if it would somewhere tell you how big like each of these facilities are. I'll actually give you a bit of an idea on how many trips you need to do. I know that there are the crafts that you can look at from outside the game. Like there's some screenshots on the forums and all that sort of stuff that you can utilize to use that, but it would be nice if the game would actually like give you the information directly. Right, but anyway, we wanted to get the cargo shuttle station into the channel, so let's go to there, then Plymouth, load all installations, back to North Sea, London, and I suppose we can refuel there, and then repeat this 9 times at least. If need be, we'll do another 10 trips. I think 10 should be enough. But that is going to speed up the well, loading and unloading stuff in Plymouth itself. Because in the long run, it's going to save us quite a bit of time. Almost 1 completed overhaul. So are you going to be finding any resources in here? Oh, Cargo Fleet 1 completed orders. What are you doing? You were setting up another mining colony, weren't you? Yes, you were. Right, it was the Moon 2. Let's have a look at that real quick. We need to set up the market for the resources to Plymouth. And then we probably want to get every governor over here with some mining, logistics, and maybe wealth generation or something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter that much. We just need to have the mining in there, and then the logistics is quite nice if we want to transport more stuff. There we go. That's another mining colony set up. It's only not actually that massive amount of mining that is being done in these resources, but it's still better than nothing. Like, it's about as much in the colonies as we are mining in Plymouth itself. Well, it's about the same amount of mines, I suppose. The accessibility is fluctuate a little bit, but not that much. Yeah, Plymouth actually does produce a bit more. Of course, the governor bonuses also have quite an impact on that. Right, so from here we should be able to get some boronite. What's this? That was uranium, corundum, and gallicite. Well, we already get all of those, and we're at decent quantities, so I don't think we need to set up a mine there. I think we might want to start just get a bit more mines into the Moon 2 right now. So load installation, automated mine, panel, Moon 2, load there, go to North Sea, refuel, and repeat that 4 times. It's going to take less than 600 days, according to that, so that's nice. We got a new sensor and control system researcher. Rather nice to have as well. So how have we not found any resources on the B star yet? How actually, well, not really. I wouldn't call that resources. I would call that a pittance. Commandos having some more extra experience. Civilians contract another colony ship. As per usual. Oh! No, that's just a tiny moon. Not worth the effort of mining that. Commando promoted. Most one is joining over here again in survey, and new minerals deposit in. Oh! Right, A4. That's probably one of the Super Jovians, isn't it? Oh, it's a gas giant. Yeah, it would be A6, that would be the Super Jovian on here, and then on the other side there's quite a few of them. But B4, B6, and B7. All of those are Super Jovians. I'm really surprised if none of them have Sorium, although it's entirely possible that none of them has Sorium. Oh, and someone retired. Oh, it was the reactor researcher. Now let's have a look. Do we have... Not really. We got a few options here. We get some of the railgun stuff, I suppose. The question is, do we actually need to have the railgun upgrades? I mean, maybe, maybe not. Launch velocity might not be bad for the extra range. On the other hand, ground combat. Now there's an idea. We didn't actually get the geoserver equipment research, did we? No. On the other hand, construction equipment would not be a bad idea either. I think we're going to go for the geosurvey equipment first, though. Because I think getting the ground surveys underway would be a really good idea. But first we need to get the equipment, and then we need to design the units, and it's going to be a bit time consuming. Oh, well, speaking of ground surveys, excellent ground survey potential. So it's basically guaranteed to have extra resources and or better qualities for accessibility. Right, so that was what? A4 Moon 6. Well, I probably would have spotted it. Oh, wow. It's a really good planet for colonization. It has a good amount of water. I would suppose it does have quite a bit of carbon dioxide, which is less than good. It has water. Temperature is actually quite warm. We can get oxygen, that's probably going to turn into a jungle. Well, probably not quite jungle. Maybe. At least tropical. And you can have almost 9 billion population, so that's actually really good. Alright, well, let's put in a colony there. And more minerals on a comet there. Okay, well, that's actually not a bad comet either. Comet 2. Colony there. I actually wonder, can the comets even be on the second star? Because usually I just see them on the primary star. In that one. Technically, I suppose they could, but usually they're not. Fully completed on Romulus 3, so it's probably going to be heading here soon. Oh, okay, A1. The terrestrial, it is a Venusian planet, but it does have a total of 60 million tons of resources there. Although the accessibility is just 0.9, so it could be a lot better. You know, plopping down some mines there would give us a bit of extra uranium and vendrite for sure. And corundium would not run out of there anytime soon. That's for sure. I will put in a colony there just so that we don't forget it. And another mineral, okay. Have a look at that one. So that was the dwarf planet here. Oh wow! Those accessibilities total what? This is a must mine planet. Also, it's quite colonizable. It's a dwarf planet, but good enough gravity. Temperature isn't bad. The only problem is that there's no water or atmosphere. I mean, who needs water or atmosphere, right? But yeah, we'll put in a colony there, and that's certainly something that we should start colonizing as soon as possible. Because that would... Let me actually have a look. How much is that going to be able to mine? That was... Is it this one? Yeah, I think it's this one. 6.4 total accessibility. Oh. That means that one mine would be mining a total 6.4. Hold on. Yeah, 6.4 minerals per month right now. Or 6.4 tons of minerals per month. So those would pay themselves back really quick. Not to mention this. Okay, that's a lot of neutronium. Uranium is a bit low side on there, so is boronite and uridium. My goodness. That's a jackpot. Commander experiences, excellent. Oh, maintenance problem on Romulus 1. And we got the production of a repair yard completed. Good repair yard, we should probably set that up as... or increase the capacity. Well, we can just go add in 10,000 tons capacity. Should be done relatively quickly, although I suppose the continual capacity would be slightly faster, because it does increase the modulation rate along the way. It doesn't really matter, I don't think we'll need this repair yard anytime soon, or how we don't need it anytime soon. And the car ship right is going to take, oh, that's going to be the light frigate shipyard, and that's still pretty far away. Be on max size, but that's fine. Oh, okay, so that's one. A2. This planet has oxygen. Also has a massive amount of uranium, 23 million at 0.6. Alright, well, I suppose we are going to have a lot of colonies in the Norwegian Sea. Not that I'm complaining. Also, there might be some extra minerals in that one. Once we get the geosurvey stuff completed. Ship construction. Oh, right, we got the hauler. Excellent. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to detach that one, turn it over there into logistics, and we'll rename this to Plymouth, London. London. Mineral shipping. And then what we are going to have you do is just go to Channel, Plymouth, load unload minerals to reserve level, go back to North Sea, go to London, unload all minerals, and then refuel and cycle that. We'll be doing 2 trips a year, so that's going to be future-proof for a long while. Of course, it's probably going to be running relatively low in cargo for a while. Have a look at the channel real quick. So the transport is heading to Plymouth right now. I want to see what it has when it's returning. Okay, now it's going back. So you have got some uranium, and that's actually all you can carry right now. I wasn't expecting you to carry that much uranium though. Oh wow. How much do we have resources there again? Okay, yeah, we have quite a bit in there, and it doesn't carry that much per trip. It's only going to be basically about 5,000 tons of resources per year. So, yeah, it's actually not that massive, but it's massive enough, at least with the initial buffers that we had there. It's going to take a while to go through everything. Oh, that reminds me, how much do we have? We've got the 10 mines over here right now. Good, so we need to give the first cargo fleet some new orders soon. And we should be getting some boronite now at decent speed. How much are we actually mining it now? 110 per year. Okay, well that is certainly an improvement in the speed. That means that we might be able to get the fuel refineries in here. We could certainly make at least one. Of course, no one can actually refuel here yet. But yeah, I suppose getting at least one here. Which one of these is going to be completed first? It seems like it's going to be the construction factory. I don't think we have enough resources for another one, so let's put in a fuel refinery at 50%. And then after that we'll see what we do. We'll probably add in some more mines and all that. But there's plenty of workers available in here. See how that ship, or what that ship is carrying now that it's heading home. It is carrying still a bit of uranium, then a lot of carbamide and mercasium and vendorite. I mean, it goes on from or down the list more or less, I think. From the top, so yeah, there is going to be quite a bit of resources in there. And we produce a refuel station at London, so we can transport. Actually, didn't we already had a refueling station here already? Oh well. I didn't realize that I had all the station. Well, some of the stations, but then I also put in a space station in there, or spaceport there at the start. So we had a bit of extra in there. I suppose it could be worse. Okay, so what do? Oh, we got 40%. Oh, because we did the repair yard, and I didn't put anything in construction after that. Let's build another, I don't know, 25 automated mines at 20% at least. And then we get another few fuel refineries, I suppose. I just wonder how much are we. We don't have that much extra thorium production right now, so we might want to put that on hold for the time being. Maybe we should build some components. I know that there's plenty of components that we're going to be needing for a long while. Some of them are not particularly expensive either. What I think I might want to do. Once we do get the thorium harvester, we'll put in 20% on building more, or some thorium harvesters. But right now, what to do exactly? We'll get the 9 powder cannons. I mean, those are not too bad. Like 10 of those. Especially the frigates, I'm going to be using those a lot more. And eventually bigger and bigger calibers as well. But start with those. Going to be done in end of next month. So yeah. As stated, the carronades are quite cheap. They take a lot of room. But, you know, they give a lot of planetary protection value since the value is just calculated from the hull size of the military components, or the weapon components. So it's an easy way to get people feel that they're safe, even if they're not. But new mineral deposits, that is as well, actually. A lot of carbonite, titanium, and mercasium. Suppose we could put in a colony there. What was that again? That was Moon 16 on A6. Okay. This one. Put in a colony there. Norwegian Sea is going to have so many colonies by the looks of it. Oh, and we just produced the cannons in London. Produced the construction factory in Plymouth. And started on the fuel refinery. I could get another Crown Force construction complex in the meanwhile. Especially once we get the construction units and all that sort of stuff, we will probably be producing quite a bit of troops. Oh, and oh, there we go. We reached the 10 kiloton capacity. The shipyard. Not that we're going to be using that shipyard quite yet, but it's a good thing to have ready, waiting when we do actually have the things that we need for it. A lot of commander experience and new men. Oh, hello. Okay, so 6 Moon 10. This one, it has a bit of a chance of having more minerals. I mean, I'll just mark that colony just so that I'll remember to do the survey there at some point. Nitrogen and methane. It's a bit cold planet, to be fair. It's probably relatively far away from the. Yeah, it's over a billion kilometers away from the star itself. It has pretty good luminosity, though. It's not necessarily that bad. Overall completely good. It reminds me, how is the ship over here? It's 38% training now. Not great. Because it's not been on the training fleet. But hey, it's still better than nothing. So how good of a commander do we have at the training? Oh, we don't have a commander over there again. Oh, never mind then. I mean, I could just put in manual stuff there. Right, it doesn't factor in the automated assigns there. Right. That's a bit of a nuisance. Doesn't work on the admin commands. I mean, it does work at least on the ship, so it's not all bad. Right, new mineral deposit. And highs. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of surveys in Norwegian Sea later on. So which one was that? Moon 21. Okay, yeah, it has pretty high potential. Also, quite large quantities of resources. And not the worst kind of resources either. Neutronium is important for ship construction. Uridium is good for the sensors. And corundum for mines. Although that's not very high quantities, but it's large enough for a little while. And then gallitite for engines. And that is pretty good, especially if we can increase the accessibilities over there to something closer to at least 0.5 or higher. That would be pretty good. Oh, we had some mineral deposits. Not very large ones though. It's just asteroids. Okay, never mind then. That's also an asteroid. Not gonna worry about asteroids. Unless there's some asteroid that has massive resources, then I'm gonna bother with it. Not right now anyway. Research completed. Terraforming rate. Excellent. Have another researcher that we could maybe use in a bit more meaningful manner. That's what we could do, is we could just put in the research labs on the Sorium harvester. We'll go for 6 on that one and 6 on the geosurvey. Or not 6, 3 on the geosurvey, and then 3 on the active sensors. That means that the Sorium harvester is going to be done a lot quicker at least. We'll see how quickly in the end, but surely it can't be too bad. Oh, and there's a lot more asteroids being surveyed. Alright then. Oh hey, we got a new researcher. What was that? Missiles and kinetics. Okay, we did already have 2 of those. We can of course just change some of their fields if need be. New minerals, okay, iridium and... There's a lot of iridium. Accessibility is a bit small though, so I'm not going to bother with that right now. We've got already way too many colonies in Norwegiancy. And that is another small moon. By the looks of it. Not particularly high quantities there. Oh, and we just built another research lab. I'm just going to put another one on the thorium harvester. Unless there's... No, there's not really been that interesting new researchers. We're still kind of waiting for another RM propulsion researcher. Oh! Deposits of titanium have exhausted in London. Well, we still got almost 59,000 tons in there, and we are probably bringing in a little bit from Plymouth as well. We're not actually mining any there. Right, we don't actually have anything that is providing titanium in this system, as far as we remember. Or at least can quickly check. Right, so Christensen has a large quantity of duranium, also a bit of neutronium and boron. We did bring a construction factory in here. Some construction factories anyway. Let's get we can build a new one. Unfortunately, we do need to get some... We didn't bring a mass driver here, because we're not actually... No, we are mining here. There's not very massive amounts. Oh, right, now I remember. The boronite was to be used for the terraforming installations, right? Yeah, but we are going to need a lot more for that. Actually, have a look. Okay. 0.0006 atmospheres of Astuzim, which used to be in the olden version, called just safe greenhouse gases. Right. Well, deployment time exceeded on Romulus 3. Not sure if it managed to do its survey yet or not. On whatever it was surveying. I have a suspicion that it did not, unfortunately, but we'll see. Production of fuel refinery completed at Plymouth. Ooh, right, we didn't actually start anything new production there. Oh, we're about to get the cargo shell station, and if it's 0.9, that means that, yeah, it is just 10 trips. Where's standard cargo? Well, I mean, that's good. It is going to increase the unloading speed, or unloading speed here later. Not quite yet, though. So fuel refinery, what do we have resources for? We got resources for almost everything, don't we? We don't have a massive amount of neutronium, but I suppose what we could do is we could certainly build another construction factory at 50%. Then that's going to increase the construction speed by another 12. A little bit more than 12, but roughly 12. And now we are building, or refining a little bit of fuel here. Of course, we still need to get the refueling station in here, but that is going to allow us to at least refuel some of the survey vessels closer to places to survey. Because eventually we might want to get some maintenance facilities here as well. We got everything required for making maintenance supply points. But how much? Oh, it does require neutronium as well to make the facilities. I mean, we could always just produce them in London and then just transport them over. That is always an option. Let's keep on going, shall we? Want to get this system at least surveyed before we call the stream. Or at least the gravitational survey completed. Because we only got 2 jump points right now here. We're excited to see what... Oh! Okay, that has a lot of uranium and massive amount of carbamide. As the smaller moon doesn't have that much, so it was what? B4 Moon 2. Moon 2. Yeah, that one. Let's create a colony there. It does have a regular gravity, or non-low gravity, let's put it that way. Currently completed orders at London. I'll probably give the cargo fleets orders between the streams again. I just want to see the Norwegian Sea service completed. It does allow us to save a bit more fuel. That's a lot of Vendrite there. The moon. 4.7 million. But I think we don't need a colony there right now. Having some maintenance problems, but luckily our ships are quite resilient. Like, they have a massive maintenance lives. Ground survey potential, minimal, but it doesn't have any resources on its own. If it's minimal, then it's most likely not going to have anything. Okay, so we completed that. Oh, we do have another logistics researcher. Good. Actually need that. Go for the fuel storage again. And then we will need to get the new active sensors research at some point. I can probably do that off camera as well. Okay, so we've got another moon over here. It does have a pretty decent resource, I would say. Well, that was B6 Moon 7. B6 Moon 7, there you are. Yeah, I think that's a decent amount of resources. And it's pretty high accessibilities, actually. That is certainly worth a colony there. Shipyard modified. Capacity. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, right, the first one should increase. Okay, yeah. The frigate's just about, or we're just completed. The shipyard there, or the shipyard for the light frigates was just completed. The Romulus completed overhaul, excellent. New naval officer, new mineral deposits. Oh my. That must be a Venusian planet or something, because accessibilities are horrendous, but the quantities aren't that bad. That was what? Moon 8 on B6. No, it's not a Venusian planet. Could have quite a nice population, but the colony cost is rather massive. 9.7. That means that over 60% of the population would have to be working in food production, which is a fair bit, but, you know, automated mines over there would be just fine. Got quite a bit of surveying to do in here by the looks of it, because we only got 3 survey vessels right now. How much do we have fuel? We've got 7.5 million now, so we could certainly have a bit more. Build maybe a 4th. You know what? Yeah, we'll build a 4th survey vessel. Romulus, I'll just put you into survey fleet. It'll take quite a bit of time to be built, but you know, we can then just keep that, or keep refitting that one somewhere down the line. New mineral deposits. Okay, so that's one of the Super Jovians, most likely. That's quite a bit of thorium, at least. Could have been a... Oh, and there was another new mineral deposit. B6 Moon 3, that seems quite high. Help if I was looking at the wrong or correct star. Okay, yeah, that's a million neutronium there. A million tons of neutronium at 0.7. And 500,000 galaxite at 0.9. Yeah, I'd say that's worth mining. Put in a colony there. It'll take quite a while before we're going to actually get around putting a proper mining colony in there. But at least we have it surveyed. Production of mine in London. Well, speaking of mining, I think we are going to need a lot more mines. I'm going to put another 100 mines to be produced at 20%. And construction factories, I'm just going to put in an extra one at the front there. You know what, since we can, we might as well give one of the cargo fleets the order template for the extra mines into Orkney. Take a year. That's gonna be fine. Crown Force Construction Complex at London. Well, that means that we've got another thing to do. Okay, we've got automated mines underway. How much do we have Soaring production is currently 1900. We have research facilities still underway. Now we can either get the bulkhead armors, because that is something that we are not going to be updating anymore. Or gunpowder storages, or survey sensors. Survey sensors might actually be a good one. Build 5 of these at 20. And then geological survey sensors as well. It's going to take a little while, but we can then build a bit more survey vessels. Oh, and construction factory at Christiansand. Do you have anything else to build there? Oh, I've got some boronite and a lot of uranium, but does that equate to anything? This is carbamide. Fuel refinery? We don't have points for that. So not really. Let's just let that be then. We could of course transport some minerals in there so they can start producing a bit more. Is this a problem? Okay. Survey vessels has a bit of an issue. Construction factory completed at Plymouth. Let's have a look at Plymouth and how are you doing in terms of resources? A little bit lower neutronium. We've got plenty of carbamide though, that's for sure. So what we can do, we can get another couple of fuel refineries. We'll probably build 4 of them at 50%. There we go, so that means that we'll be able to produce at least about 250,000 of fuel per year. Probably a bit more actually. Wait, no, it's probably going to be about 250,000, yeah. Unless we have some bonus on the governor there. Scientist, another missile scientist. Kind of seems to be the case that whenever you are doing a non-missile run, then you'll get all the missile and biology researchers you can even imagine. Of course, you can switch the field of them, so it's not the end of the world. Oh, system surveyed. So we can see we have done the gravitational survey. Right, well, I think that's where we're going to call the stream here. So I will be back tomorrow with some Rome Total War Remaster, and then on Sunday more Heart of Iron 3. We have managed to do quite a lot of pocketing of the Soviets in there, so we need to try to get towards Moscow, now playing as Germany and Italy and Romania. And then Monday we'll have more City Skylines, and next Wednesday we'll continue with this. So, thank you all for watching, and until next time, bye bye.